them with an appropriate
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hello? Hey, hey, hey. Hello? Hey, hey, hey. Oh god, it's like my worst nightmare. It's just me repeating the same words over and over again. Oh no. We're just gonna mute that for now. Oh my god. What the hell? Hold on. Let's see if we can fix this. Oh god, no. Okay, I think I did it. I just had to not be an idiot for 3 seconds. Okay, are we? Yep, I'm talking. This is live. Got this going over here. That way you can actually hear the video.
colored weapon. So while you're comboing,
So, I'm just gonna chill for a few seconds. Wait for some people to come in. Hang out. Just gonna exit all that stuff. You didn't see any of it, okay? You didn't see any of it. Not a single thing that you saw was right there. It should pop up. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, let's hop on to Discord here. Alright. So let's see. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you can. Nice. Trying to... I need 3 monitors for this, I swear. Oh my god. Just get in. Hello? Hello? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first stream with OBS. I'm not even looking at the chat right now. Thank God. Okay. Oof. Oof. Look at that. population know gets it. So I guess I need to go over this video, something that I did. Let's see, where am I at?
Feels a little limp, unfortunately.
How you doing, my man?
Hey, what's up?
Cool.
All right. Your stream's working?
I think so, yeah. I just checked
Oh.
it and it seems to be working. So I got the whole thing set up. It's not showing my face. I wanted to show my face. I tried to get it to work through via Logitech. It got the camera right, and like connecting that, but it didn't get the audio, which is really annoying. So
I mean, yes, you're probably the most attractive redhead in the world, but I think we can watch the video. Yeah. I think it's cool if we, don't see your face for 40 minutes, I think.
yeah,
We've
that's
got hours and hours of Splendor on your channel, right? So I think it's cool. All right. But how do I watch it though? Do I have to like watch your stream to watch the video too?
No, I think it should be right there. Is it? Is it showing?
All right, okay. I can see it here.
Can you see my screen?
It's loading. Still loading. Oh, still loading.
How much longer is this gonna go on?
Yeah, it's still loading. Oh, did you close the video? Okay. Restarted?
Yeah.
So have you watched it? Or you're just gonna watch it for the stream?
I've watched like some of it, and I only remember brief parts of it. So this is gonna be
Okay.
fun.
Cool. Cool. Okay. The video didn't load at all? Video didn't load.
Damn, hold on. Let me figure this out, okay?
Okay.
Okay, it should. Why does it not want to work? Maybe it has to do something with OBS.
Yeah, no pressure. You take your time. I'm just browsing and just doing stuff.
Cool.
You take your time.
It works.
Okay. Is it? Okay. I can see it. Yeah.
You can see the loading screen.
Yeah.
Back.
Yep. You gotta
Okay, we're
raise the
done.
volume of the video, though, I think.
It
'Cause-
should be good.
I'm back.
All right. Okay, so
I like the intro. It's pretty
gotta
cool.
be, it's gotta be super edgy to fit with the tones here. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo.
Am I allowed here? Is there like a stream?
Yeah, we are gonna dunk. I'm kidding. We're kidding. We're gonna be like, yeah, this is a pretty nice video that we just made. So I don't know. We're just gonna watch it and see what's what.
I've already watched it and I think it's quite lame.
Yeah,
Splitter,
you
what
might
are your
find it
thoughts
lame
on
as
it?
well. Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. Okay, look, I'm not the best streamer in the world, okay? I feel so much anxiety doing this.
Yeah, bro. How do you think I feel? I just came from like a two hour long stream. It's terrible. Someone actually donated to my tip jar, dude. What the fuck?
So Darkstar actually posted Dante T posing from your
Yeah,
stream, I
it's
think.
because the camera thing is fucked.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Okay, so do you guys see my screen, just to be sure?
Yes.
You see the Sphere Hunter
We-
screen, right?
Yes, we see the
Yeah.
video, the YouTubes.
Okay, nice, okay.
Is this gonna be recorded?
Well, it is live streaming right now on my YouTube, so technically, yes.
Oh, okay. So no N words and all that.
Yeah,
Because
no. God.
we are all very
Yeah,
racist people.
Yes, so no racism here, guys.
Yeah. Take off the MAGA hats.
Yes.
God damn it.
Let's take it all off.
Yeah,
Okay.
take off the pants too while you're at it. Splinter's hot, dude.
Whoa, okay. You know, I don't like the way that this conversation is going. So, let me start off
Let's
with.
jump right into it.
Yeah, it's just okay. So, Johto, so you've watched the video. You actually have the future in your mind. So, tell
Yes.
us, how was this video?
The video itself was, I from someone's perspective that plays this game a lot and like has dissected basically every scene in the game. I think this video is garbage in the critiquing standpoint, but other than that, it's pretty good in everything else.
We'll
Like,
see
you
about
mean
that.
like the editing of the video?
The
or
editing,
style?
the art used, like she seems very knowledgeable about the game, but the critiques, the criticisms, all that doesn't seem like she formed her own opinion. That's my opinion though.
Okay, so I do want to say something right off the bat. That's actually not a shocker to me, like at all. If you know her video on what was it, RE3 remake, literally when the game came out, she was praising, like she even before the game came out, they gave her an early copy and she was like, "Oh my god, it's so great, guys! Like 8 out of 10. It's a super great game. There's like a little, there's a little bit to it that's like a negative, but other than that, it's a great game." And then all of a sudden, when the game actually comes out, and then there's like backlash, and people go, "Hey, this kind of isn't good." And then she releases a video called RE3 Remake is disappointing. And I was like, wait a second, you got an early
Whoa.
copy of the game. You should have been able to deduce that yourself. But no, as soon as the common opinion went against that, boom, the whole thing went sideways. So,
Well,
Yeah, I mean, her RE videos are, yeah, they're a little too positive even when there are like very bad choices in these games. Like she's very, I mean, I think she's excessively positive with a lot of the RE games.
putting on turbo
so
mode. What was that, Splinter?
what?
You put it on turbo mode. What
Okay,
was that?
hold on. Okay, I like watching videos at 2 times speed. Then I realized there's people that don't like that. So I was like, oh, I
Oh,
probably
you
need to
can.
turn it down.
I think that's fine because we don't want the stream to be like, I don't know, fucking 5 hours or some shit. 'Cause it's a 38-minute video, right?
Yeah.
And if
Also,
we're gonna
there's
be,
like copyright things going on probably.
Oh, God. No. But she's a
but
YouTuber.
I
She
think
should
but I
know.
think if we're gonna be talking over it, or if you can, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's because it's like a reaction video, so you know how that's big on YouTube.
Yeah.
Splinter, turn on your face cam. Edit a giant thumbnail
No,
on it.
no, buddy.
Yeah.
Just checking chat. I probably won't be checking chat that often.
I will, probably. I will look at the stream and hate my voice.
But I expected the same thing as you did, Splinter. I was not shocked that she would have very, just general second-handed opinions about the game. Like even her opinions on RE games are just very, very vanilla. So I don't know. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's watch it.
Oh, disclaimer before we get into this: we are literally nobodies
Yeah.
in this
Yeah,
community. We are nothing.
I mean, I'm just watching it for fun. See, I mean, I don't really care to
I
do
respect her
anything.
as a person, but I just think this video is garbage. So there's that.
I respect her as a person too, and as a content creator, but I think her main thing is Resident Evil, and I think her Resident Evil videos are kind of lame, but that's just me saying that.
Yes.
I'm just a nobody, but
With your
whatever.
3 subscribers having ass.
That's true. All 3 of
I
my
don't-
subscribers will be exceptionally pissed if I do a wrong type of reaction, okay?
All right, let's get this shit show on the road.
Okay, let's get started. Here we go.
Let's go.
I'm back.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this is pretty cool.
Splinter, your stream is looking kind of strange.
Yeah, it's
How
pretty
so?
The
choppy.
year.
Okay, look, I'm streaming this via YouTube and streaming this via Discord at the
Right,
same time.
okay, yeah.
Okay?
So it's taking your bandwidth, I guess. Yeah.
Here. If
I'm sure you could run YouTube videos on your PC.
Yes.
But it's probably the internet connection and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, Discord just looks choppy in general. I'm sorry if it comes out a little bit choppy, but it's the only way this is gonna work. So we'll make do.
Is 2010. I'm in a comic store hanging with some friends. One of my friends, who happened to work at this particular store, signals me to come over to the cash register. On his laptop is the trailer for Devil May Cry 5. In this video, I saw a very young man in a
Devil May
dark
Cry
Gothic
5,
city
okay.
fighting strange mannequin-like creatures. At the end, it's revealed this character's name is Dante. My friend and I looked at each other and said, "Wow, that looks kinda cool." I remarked, "I can't believe they're making another prequel before Dante gets his..."
What does she mean
Okay.
by another prequel? I didn't catch that first time. Dante never had black hair, I'm pretty sure. Like in the mainline.
Yeah, but I think what she's trying to say that, oh, it's kind of like a reveal that he might have had black hair when he was, you know,
But the word that she used
younger.
was another.
Another prequel? You mean
Yeah.
like another?
Sorry, I'm back. I had to help somebody. Anyway, you want to continue, or
Yes.
do you have anything to say?
We were talking about the specific word she used, which was another prequel, but I don't remember there being a prequel where Dante had black hair.
I guess DMC 3? Question mark?
No, I
But
think
he
no, I
didn't
think
have
what
black
she
hair.
no, I think what she's trying to say is that, oh, she thought that this was going to be even before DMC3, and it's kind of like a reveal that he might have had black hair once before
Oh,
DMC3,
gotcha.
because we
Okay.
never get to see Dante before DMC3, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, Joto, just to make sure, can you have a open window on my YouTube stream via YouTube stream just to make sure everything's good? Okay. That way nothing.
I do have that.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, kind sir. Okay, it's the only way we're gonna survive this. Oh boy.
White hair. My friend responds, "No, you see, he's got the white hair. Look at his roots. He just dyed it black." I happily walked home after my
Just
innocent shop
dyed it.
adventure, knowing there was another DMC game in the works. It being one of my favorite video game franchises and all, I was pretty excited. When I got back home, I checked out the trailer again by myself, and noticed that a lot of people were very unhappy with it. There were endless comments about Dante not having white hair, him being a smoker, which I know, it was gross, him being very skinny and unattractive, and, pardon my language, him looking like a drug addict. I was genuinely surprised by this because, honestly, I thought the trailer looked pretty cool. It was hitting all the right goth rock vibes for me personally, and the very visible patch of white amongst this Dante's black hair had me immediately thinking this game would be a build-up to him getting that iconic white hair. No matter what I thought about any of this, fans were not happy. I remember seeing a lot of angry videos about this new character design back then. It's kind of crazy going back and watching some of those videos now with the amount of slurs being thrown around in them. It was a very productive time to live through. Anyway, so this new DMC game, which at first we all thought was DMC 5, was being developed by a Western game company called Ninja Theory, the folks behind games like...
Okay, before we go any further, I guess I should address some of the things. I do think that in a sense, when you see a new character like Dante, especially in the way that they revealed, people are gonna get worried extremely fast. That's not my issue with like this at all. I can understand that to a degree. The point that becomes the most frustrating to me is when we obviously start to get to that slurs part, where like people were like sending death threats and stuff like that. I feel like we there was like a step of like, okay, I get it, they're not going to accept it, and then there's like, oh god, let's just like send everything and all the hate that we can possibly get, right? And I think that's something that a lot of YouTubers, when they cover this whole controversy, don't understand. I know Foxcade mostly understands that, but Foxcade is another issue. Anything you guys would like to mention?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay,
okay,
let's
yeah,
talk
go
about
ahead,
the elephant
Joe.
in the room. So everyone has probably seen Angry Joe's review of the game. I don't
I
remember there
haven't.
being any slurs in that video.
Yeah.
That video was kind of like very good on the review side of it, in my opinion, because he seemed to care about the game developers more than the fans did.
Yeah, but there were like, okay, so apparently there's, I don't know if this is true or not, but according to Foxcade, there's like a ton of videos that came out a while ago, or like when the trailer first debuted, of like people like screaming at the top of their lungs and like them getting obsessively angry over it. It's hard to find now because they've been buried under like the whole YouTube search and probably deleted, or like person's probably privated, especially like, why would you keep that up? Especially
Yeah, and
when, like,
old videos are like really difficult to find with YouTube these days. It's getting a bit wonky,
Yeah, I kept a playlist of like funny videos or something like that, and then a lot of my videos were only from like a few years ago, and yet they've like some of them have just disappeared, So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna take Fox K's word on it by saying there were a lot of angry and like slurs in videos.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff
Yeah.
I
like
don't
that.
doubt that at all. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen it personally.
Yeah, I have a point to make in this intersection that she talked about, the controversy with, the fans' reaction and whatnot. Pretty much every video of DMC that's, like kind of looking at DMC as a whole, they always cover the controversy as if like that's the important part. I wish they would just like get into the game, because
I completely agree with that. They
like
care way too much about the drama surrounding it.
yeah, exactly. Like I really wish they would like just stop talking about, oh, it's a Western developer and Capcom, gave it to another. Just talk about the game, please.
Well, it's like it's because it's all about building a narrative. They really want to build a narrative, especially when you're making a lot of these videos. Like I try
Yeah,
my best to like try not to go over like a lot of developer stuff because in reality what they may say and then what is actually executed are like different things. So I feel like if you're going to cover like the topic of the controversy, you might as well just cover it in a pre-video beforehand. But always with these videos on DMC Devil May Cry is that they build this narrative like, oh my god, people disliked it, and then they can get people more and more on board with the train that, oh, this is a bad game, or like set the
mhm.
background for it at least.
Yeah. So that kind of slants it towards that direction. It does, then you kind of lose like an unbiased approach. So that's kind of shitty. Okay, let's move on, I guess. I think I made
Yeah,
my
we're
point.
only 2 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, this is not a good video.
Heavenly Sword and Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Both games that I happen to enjoy very much. Back when it released, DMC4 sold really well, but its sales weren't exactly what Capcom was looking for. At this point in time, having 4 full DMC games under their belts, and feeling like they had done pretty much everything they could with Dante in the story and gameplay department, the decision to reboot the series had been on the Capcom higher-up table for a while. It was partially the reason why Nero came to be in the first place. The in-house Capcom devs were kinda done with making traditional DMC games at that time. Impressed with their work on Heavenly Sword, Capcom executives chose Ninja Theory to develop the next Devil May Cry game. In-house former DMC staffers would also provide support on this title, notably Hideaki Itsuno, the director of DMC 3 and 4. Itsuno-san would be overseeing this project and would actually help with some design elements for the game's enemies and this title's combat. At the start of development, this game would be a more realistic take on DMC that would actually feel more in line with what came before in those previous games. Ninja Theory, being very big fans of Devil May Cry, wanted to keep that
Wait,
original
wait,
vibe
wait,
in mind with
would you
their
just
reboot. It was quickly
pause it
decided by
for
Capcom.
Yeah.
did well, what does she mean? What does she mean by the previous games were also realistic? Like the three
uh,
and four were realistic?
I think she meant to say like DMC2 was trying to be realistic.
Oh, you mean like uh, the ones before three? Oh, okay. Like, okay. Okay,
I'm
let's
honestly
just keep
confused
going.
on that statement as well because I don't remember these games trying to be realistic at all.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
realism is not something that Devil May Cry is known for.
Yeah, Dante literally rides around on a fucking rocket and
Yeah.
he
Okay.
uses a motorcycle as a nunchuck.
Yeah, that didn't make sense, but okay, let's just, let's keep going.
Japan that they wanted NT to make the game feel very different in basically every aspect of its design and presentation. Apparently, the decision to change Dante's hair color to black was so he would appeal to a younger Western audience. It's kind of crazy seeing this Dante's initial concepts being so similar to the Dante we all know and love before getting changed. The game's setting would be the colorful hell world.
I wonder why that is. Oh boy. Anyway.
Yeah, oh man, I hate the fact that people are like, "This is a DMC game," and it's like, it's not. It's the fucking reboot. It's not supposed to be like the main series. That's why it's a reboot.
Yeah, and like the developers have talked about like how when they were first assigned this project, they thought they were gonna make like a real sequel to the original DMC. But then Capcom was like, just make a different game. It's a different universe, different canon and whatnot.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what Ninja Theory thought. That's what Ninja Theory initially wanted, but uh, Capcom had a different direction, which is fine, and I think that the game's good, but
It needs to be cleared up that that is what happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
World of Limbo, a transforming, living environment that shifts around Dante as he explores. This living world idea came from the original DMC titles, energy fields that would often trap Dante into those games' combat scenarios. NT wanted to take that idea a little further in this reboot, having the shifting world play into the actual level design, including all new platforming challenges and the ability to knock enemies off the world itself. So for a while, the trailers for this reboot looked and felt a lot like that initial announcement trailer, with skinny goth Dante. The industrial electronica was still there, Dante was still rocking that original spray-painted red jacket, and the overall industrial goth vibe was intact. This game really seemed like a more realistic, darker version of a Devil May Cry game. Again, I was excited for this. At a certain point, however,
I don't know.
He looks like a baby. Can we get that as an emote in the server, please? Holy shit.
I'll try and remember that.
That does look pretty jank.
This is early gameplay footage. No, I'm not ragging on
Yeah,
Ninja Theory at all. It's funny.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, he took a massive shit. Damn.
and I can't really pin down when this happened, a lot of this game's tone changed. Dante suddenly started to appear way more clean cut, his jacket went from primarily red with black highlights to just black with a pinch of red on his sleeves. The music itself began to take on a more traditional punk rock sound, while also maintaining some of that electronica, and we finally got to hear this Dante speak a little more.
My name, by the way, is Dante. But you can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Something about this guy felt very off to me, and I wasn't the only one who felt this way. In that first
Okay,
trailer,
I never saw him being off. He just, in my opinion, the voice actor fit perfectly for the role. Much like Ruben, but then again, they're different Dantes. Like, entirely.
Right. Same here. That's the same feeling that I got.
By the way, one of my pet peeves in any reboot, like review, is that they always show this scene. They literally cannot come up with any other scene. It's just this scene specifically. It's
Also,
always
they
this
don't
scene.
dissect the entire scene either.
No, that's the worst part, is that they'll clip it out of context and then say, bad dialogue, gotcha, libtards. And then it's like, wait, but there's like a whole scene around it. There's a reason.
Yeah. Not only that, but people will focus so much on the fuck you that they don't realize who starts the fuck you. They don't realize what Dante is in situation-wise. If someone said fuck you to you in an argument, your response usually will be fuck you back, because he didn't give you basis to make a comeback off of it. If it's like a roast off or some shit. You get where I'm coming from on this, right?
Yeah,
it makes sense.
And listen, like the OG Dante, that's his character. He would always roast people. Of course, it's a different style because it's Japanese developers making like a Western game. But this is just a different type of roasting. So like it's very strange to like pick this point and like not care about when the OG does the same thing, you know? It's just a different style.
The mainline series had a very different setting compared to this one.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
very true.
Dante most likely grew up knowing what cars and shit were, you know, in this reboot. So the language would be different here used. The language would be used differently here, my bad. And he's more knowledgeable about the world as opposed to Dante, who felt like an outcast in the mainline series and all that. At least I think he felt like an outcast.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
You can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Something about this guy felt very off to me, and I wasn't the only one who felt this way. In that first trailer, Reboot Dante came off as a dark and depressed type of character compared to the guy that we would eventually end up with. As more and more trailers released, the weirder this game began to look.
That's cool. No, it's all real.
I mean, I do agree that it's slightly different from the original review. Like the feel of Dante, like the, you know, that depressed vibe compared to that succubus scene. It's slightly different, but I don't mind that. It's just different.
It's also depends on the situation and who's he's talking to. Because what, you're gonna spill your guts out to a succubus?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, actually, in the game, he does have points.
Very good moments with Kat.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, very, you know, vulnerable moments.
For
with
for
Kat.
example, the car scene, the virility factory. It's
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so one of my main criticisms, this goes back to all the way to my first DMC video that I made of a response that like Inverted Controller had, was the fact that they clipped a few scenes out of context and says, oh my god, he doesn't care about humanity, or oh no, look at him interact with the succubus. I can do the same thing too, just reverse it. I can then use the car scene, and then I can use that cat death scene, and I can flip that into a type of way.
She
of
doesn't
like,
die.
oh my god, yeah, I know.
She
But
gets shot.
she gets shot. But
Yeah.
but I can use those sadder scenes and more vulnerable scenes and then paint him in a completely different picture. You know, that's kind of my issue with a lot of these reboot videos, is that they'll clip things out of context and not establish the further context, you know.
Yep. All right.
What's going on here? Seriously, it's like whoever edited these BTS clips wanted all of this to look bad. What seemed like a game with a realistic dark tone was now a strange, uncomfortably edgy, and very cringeworthy looking title that barely resembled the wholesome silliness that was original DMC. By the way, the game's official title was eventually revealed as DMC Devil May Cry. So, Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry. I get it, it's a reboot, but why not just DMC? Like, the letters. It's probably really hard to market that.
Okay, just I want to mention this real quick. Cringe is completely subjective. What do you
Yes.
think of, so what do you think is cringe and what do you think is cool are completely separate different things. That's what I try to explain to people all the time about like what makes a character cool, and it's like, well, it's all subjective. You can't really say what's cool or not. There's no like objective way to measure that. It's just whoever thinks that it's cool. Just-
Yeah, you can definitely see like the OG series to be cringy.
Speaking of the OG series, one thing that I will take to the grave with me is that final battle with Virgil in DMC 3. That scene was so cringy for me because Dante literally says, "My soul says it wants to stop
Yes.
you," and it's like, Dante, what are
It
you
is
saying?
cringy, yeah.
Just say, "I'm gonna fuck you up" or some shit to Virgil. You don't have to say that.
Sparta, no, don't do it, please.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, what is it? What is the exact line? Oh yeah, our blood flows through with Sparta, but not
Yeah.
only, but his soul. And I
That
was
is like,
oh, God.
Dante, that is not you, bro. I'm sorry. It is cringe, but it's also an emotional moment in the series, which I respect. It's just
Yeah, and it's-
executed poorly, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like it's such a weird thing to like critique in the reboot, because if you
Yeah,
look at it
like
a
Splinter
certain way,
said. Go ahead.
yeah, if you look at it a certain way, like everything in DMC is cringy,
Yeah, in their own right.
original and reboot, yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Close to this title's release is when we would get a playable demo for the game. The demo included 2 levels, one exploratory and the other a straight-up boss fight. I was okay with this demo. The gameplay was a lot of fun. It didn't completely feel like a classic DMC, but what was presented was clearly a polished, well-made hack-and-slash video game. I still wasn't digging how the characters and story were being presented, however.
Oh, the scene!
Oh
Oh,
my God.
The scene.
Tell me, I'm 1200 years old.
Wait, did she cut it?
No, that's a good line. I don't care whoever like says it. That's a good line. You don't look.
No,
at it
did
as
she
a 12th.
jump cut in the middle of this cutscene?
I think so. Yeah, she started off and then she skipped to this part.
Dude, if that's not like trying to manipulate your viewers, I don't know what it is. That is terrible. Let the whole cutscene play out.
But this was a demo, right? Obviously, I'd have to reserve my full judgment for when I finish the game, right? Honestly, the trailers leading up to this game's release had me kinda nervous. I can't stress enough how damaging this stuff was for fans of the original games. Everything shown off was being made fun of. Virgil eventually made a trailer appearance, and that did absolutely nothing to douse the flames of anger quickly building up around this title. I was just sitting there like, man, I really hope the game is that darker take on DMC, and not whatever is going on here.
Yes, I wonder why that is.
Yes.
I wonder. Oh,
It's literally a fucking reboot. Come on, man.
Now, there's something I want
People
to talk
don't
about.
respect the name at all.
no, it's like, see how she builds like this narrative. We're 7 minutes in, and she's told us nothing about what things like actually are in the game. Like she's
Yeah.
barely touched upon any of that. She's like, oh, they're cringeworthy. Oh, the people didn't like it. Oh, it was damaging to them. Like you don't understand how damaging it was. I was
She
like,
gets
oh,
into it. She gets into it, so we give it our time, you know.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. All of what I'm about to say has been said
Okay,
before
never
in much
mind.
greater detail. I briefly touched on this at the start, but when this title was first revealed, fans were not happy. A lot of colorful language was thrown around at the developers and the game itself. On a lot of occasions, the devs at Ninja Theory would actually respond to fan concerns very angrily. I think it's kind of understandable when you're working on something that you're passionate about, but it's definitely not professional or appropriate. I think both sides, in a lot of ways, were in the wrong in saying the things that they said. I get
No. Okay, number one, I still haven't seen any good evidence of Ninja Theory openly being an asshole. Maybe Tameen, but I don't think Tameen was built for all the backlash, and Ninja Theory in general. I don't think that they were meant to handle that, because you go from this small studio that like had a couple people max. Like what, at max they have like 100 people maybe, and that's like super small compared to like a lot of AAA games. And they like aren't at all used to the limelight, so they get the limelight, and what happens? Immediately people start bashing on them. That's gotta mess
Yeah.
with you.
They show cracks in their like everything basically. Their personality, all that. They start being defensive because they're so small and like they're not worth anything to the video game industry technically. They're not like integral pillars to the video game industry.
Yeah,
And
I think
honestly,
this is their
before
first
DMC,
AAA game. This
yeah,
is their
Yeah,
first AAA game.
before DMC, I have never heard of Ninja Theory,
yeah,
which
exactly.
is kind of upsetting to me
They
because it's like they make good games.
and that's why it's so easy to like hate on them, right? Because you have this developer that comes out of nowhere, which you don't know anything about. You've never heard of any of their previous stuff, so you don't even have like the knowledge of people, like knowing their past stuff and go, oh, okay, their past stuff was good. Maybe I can. But the community didn't really care about that. They just cared about, there's this no name company that's come out of nowhere to suck away the spotlight from Capcom.
hmm Even though they work with them, so
Yeah,
there's that.
exactly.
Get not liking the direction a game is going in, but that's not a good reason to send death threats or just talk shit. For Ninja Theory, it's not a good look playing into that behavior as well. You're supposed to
Okay, if somebody can send me Ninja Theory actively sending out death threats and then going to the White House and saying, please get rid of DMC the reboot, or please get rid of the fans, I will 100% say that it was both sides of the defense that were wrong. But nothing like that
But,
I've even heard of.
but I
Honestly,
think,
I've only seen them being respectful towards people.
Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
need actual proof if somebody says, oh, like Ninja Theory was like super bad and whatever. Like, I'm gonna need more proof as to why that
I
is.
mean, I have seen like old interviews of Tamim and stuff. Like he's like
Hold
the
on.
interviews, he is feeling very stressed, and like when he's talking, he's kind of not happy about like the fan reaction and whatnot.
I
So
wouldn't be
you
surprised
get
if
that
his hair
vibe.
turned white due to the the insurmountable stress of dealing with DMC community.
Yeah. Okay, let's
I
keep
think
going.
Splinter went to go do something.
Oh shit, taking a shit in the middle of the stream.
No, he's collecting evidence on Susie.
Yeah, but he is the director though. He kind of represents
Yeah, that
the
is true.
entire project. So, he's kind of the face of the project. So what his behavior does kind of reflect on the development team. So
Yeah,
I
he
don't know.
does represent Ninja Theory itself, basically. And for someone to crack under pressure like Tabim did,
Yeah.
it's kind of it
And
gives the whole place a bad rep.
yeah, I kind of so I half agree with Susie here, but it's he's moved on and he's kind of apologized as well for it. So, I don't really care.
Yeah, if he can own up to it and everything, then it should be okay. But everyone
Yeah.
is so quick to cancel people and all that. So,
Yeah. Very, very unfortunate.
and we still
This
haven't
was
even gotten
scary.
to the actual gameplay. This is all just the
This
making
is
of the
just the
narrative.
hype. Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep stream entertained.
Yes. We
Uh,
are the
so
Splinter substitutes.
yeah. Never in my 20 years of teaching have I ever seen a note this bad. Dude, substitute teachers are great. Uh, we haven't
Oh,
gotten to the actual game itself. We've gotten to the community feedback on the trailers, and I would say her judging the gameplay isn't too bad compared to the
uh-huh.
rest of the video, having seen it and
Okay.
everything.
I
So
see.
I respect her opinions on the gameplay aspect. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like what she thinks of Devil Trigger. That to like pick out something very specific.
No, that's interesting. Because even I don't know what your opinions on, the gameplay is. So that's interesting.
Wait, what do
I'd
you
like to
mean
hear,
by you don't know my opinions on the gameplay?
on Devil Trigger and like the specifics of gameplay and what she says. So it'll be
Uh,
interesting to kind of get into it once we get to that point.
hmm
Yeah. But there's definitive edition. Now you can get whatever Devil Trigger you prefer. So there's that too.
Oh
Does
no,
she does
Susie's.
she get in does she get into like definitive edition and whatnot?
Yeah, towards the later end of the video, she mentions definitive edition and all that. So,
Okay.
and she praises it technically, because it was a major upgrade from the vanilla game in terms of
Mm-hmm.
like gameplay aspects, all that.
Like, okay, that's good. Like that's what I usually hear. Like people would say, "Oh, you know, it's like, oh, like the original game was kind of shit. Now it's good." That's the tone that I usually get, which is kind of unfortunate because I've only actually played the vanilla version. I've never played definitive edition. So I think vanilla is pretty great. Of course, like there are here, issues here and there, but it's pretty good. And I know the changes they made in definitive edition, so I know they're pretty nice, and that's great. But the vanilla itself needs to be, you know, uh,
Mhm.
it needs to be talked about fairly.
Yes, that is true. Because there are two separate editions of the game, and one of them isn't available on a certain platform. So
Yeah.
technically, we have to review them
Yeah.
differently.
What the fuck are you doing, Capcom?
Yeah, what about that? What's going
Yeah.
on with definitive edition on PC? You literally have the game in your pocket.
Yeah. Just pay someone like $2,000 to like port it, or like three people can do it. I don't know. So stupid.
Yeah, I'd say you're right about that. Considering what DmC is built on, like engine wise and all that. Now, I'm not knowledgeable in game development, so I could be entirely wrong.
Mm.
But I think it would be pretty easy to port it over to PC, considering what I know.
Yeah, and I think they're losing money overall because I think however much it's gonna cost them to make a port. I mean, I think like if you sell 1,000 copies, I think you're gonna make it back, and you're gonna sell much more than 1,000 copies of the reboot. So
And I think it was missed opportunity in terms of selling the game
All right,
because.
gamers, I'm back.
All right, welcome back, Sonny.
Wait, what have
Uh,
you guys been talking about since I've been gone?
we've been talking about definitive edition.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
nice. That will become a later vocal point in the
Yeah,
video, I assume.
it will.
All right.
Let's jump into it.
Ignore the trolls, not feed them. And you're definitely not supposed to call the character that the fans like a gay cowboy, like that's some kind of insult. If angry fans are calling your character a homophobic slur, don't call the original character a homophobic stereotype. Like, it's bad. Why throw gasoline on your already burning shoot?
Okay. So far, what I've gathered from that conference is that mostly it was a joke. I understand that like they want to like say, "Hey, let's update what Dante is." And then like I don't know. I still don't think that scene obviously is in the best of light. I think that that's probably Ninja Theory's biggest downfall right there. Was that the conference in particular, whatever they had. But I don't know. I still don't feel like that's like a homophobic stereotype. I think that they were simply joking. And these, again, let me remind people, that conference came out in like 2013. This is way before any of the, we do not have the same culture that we have today.
Yes,
So
that
yeah,
is true. Different times, different time.
yeah, exactly. So, and besides, I still don't. I think it's one thing to like say, hey, he's kind of like a gay cowboy. It's like he can hang out in the Brokeback Mountains, and then
yeah.
homophobic slur, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, there was. I
You
don't
know,
think there was an actual slur tossed around in that conference, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I remember like the meme said that about the women in DMC, like he says they look like prostitutes, and people were like, "Oh, they're prostitutes." Have you seen Lady in DMC4?
Trish.
Yes.
Lady
Yeah.
and Trish in DMC4 literally are wearing the most revealing clothing ever.
Oh no, but in DMC5 you get them to see them
But
naked. So
yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The hot women in games, it's fine.
Yeah.
But he's just like making a statement like, okay, we want to have a different design choice. That's what
Mhm.
he's trying to say. That's it. It's not like, oh, they look like a prostitute and that's bad. It's just like, yeah, they kind of do. That's how they look like.
exactly.
Also, the
This
fans of this
whole
game
era
are
of
very horny.
Facts.
That like, there's no disputing that people wanted cock jiggle physics in DMC5.
Dude, I'm behind that 100%. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, wait. I didn't say I was against it, but I'm saying that people wanted it.
Homophobic.
So,
Goddamn.
I mean, I think the real gay cowboys were us.
we were maybe the gay cowboys were the friends that we made along the way.
Yeah.
Capcom is so infuriating to look back on. It's incredibly cringe on the dev side and on the fan side too. Anyway, if you guys want to learn more about this controversy, please check out Foxcade's video on it. He goes into way more detail about things that were said and the
don't.
way they were received. Even though I'm
Don't.
not going to talk about the game's abysmal marketing
Wait,
and
was
PR,
it bad?
will,
I
in
didn't
fact,
watch
be
it.
diving deep into the actual content of the final
Yeah,
release
I
and
think
the
it's.
definitive edition.
I mean, it's factually wrong in certain places, especially the gameplay, which is like quite crucial.
Mhm.
But
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised with how people judge the gameplay in this game, because everyone is so afraid of change. It's like, dude, this is a reboot. It's been stated that it's a reboot. Treat it like a reboot, please.
Yeah, I think that Foxcade video, he straight up says there's no jump canceling or like he heavily implies that like there's no jump canceling.
Well, funny
And
thing
he
about that is that Foxcade was like, I remember him being somewhat sympathetic to Ninja Theory, and he got blowback on it actually. Like his comments are like people roasting him.
and then he changed
That
his
is a
opinion.
4chan moment if I've ever seen one.
4chan moment.
Of this
It
game.
happens,
And believe
dude.
me, developer remarks or black hair Dante are not the real problems holding back the reboot. Without further ado, let's take a closer look at DMC Devil May Cry. DMC Devil May Cry's basic gameplay is pretty similar to the previous games, but its combat system is very different. Aside from the typical hack-and-slash fare like exploring linear set levels, taking out hordes of demons, and collecting red orbs to upgrade your stuff, the new combat system and the way battles play out are the most notable things DMC brings to the table. So Dante still has a melee attack button, a gun button, and a jump button, but no lock-on, and dodging is now mapped to the shoulder buttons and executed with a single button press. Unlike DMC 1, 3, and 4, where you had to lock onto an enemy and press a direction while jumping just to dodge roll, now it's as easy as ever to get out of the way of danger. Dante also has a launcher button to send enemies flying. In those previous titles, launching demons was also a lock-on directional based input. Tapping launch sends enemies up, and holding down the button sends Dante with them. This action, while different in its execution, functions the same way as it did in those classic games. Delay-based combos and advanced abilities like Stinger also show up in this game. One of the goals with this reboot was to design a control configuration that would give old and new players ease of access in pulling off a very stylish-looking combos. That is definitely what you get here. It's a much more simplified combat system, but that isn't bad by any means. The basic hack-and-slash gameplay is pretty fun and easy to wrap your head around, no matter what your skill level is. Another new addition to the combat formula is how the unlockable weapons work. As you progress through the story, Dante will unlock angel and demon weapons. Angel weapons, by default, are mapped to the left trigger, and demon weapons are mapped to the right. Demon weapons are hard-hitting, slow bludgeoners that deal very high damage, while angel weapons are good
I
at
want
keeping
you to take
clouds
note
under
of what she
control
says
and are very
here.
fast at the expense of damage output. Dante also gets
Yep.
a hook that he can use in combat. Each of the triggers you hold down modifies this hook to either pull enemies in or to bring you to the enemy. It's a lot like how Nero's Devilbringer worked in DMC4, you just have more control over it. It's a perfect evolution of what DMC4 brought to the table, and one of my favorite hack-and-slash game mechanics, believe it or not. The hook even has its own upgradable attacks, so you can combo in and out of attack strings with this thing. I really liked how the weapons were implemented. It harkens back to Ninja Theory's Heavenly Sword, where in that game you used a transforming blade, where in its basic form was good against single targets, and also had forms for crowds and dealing massive focused damage. It's very similar to that here in DMC. A lot of button delay combos can be finished with other weapons, which is something I don't think the original Devil May Cry series ever attempted. So when you perform a combo with a delay button input, while delayed, a glimmer of light will shine on Dante's currently equipped weapon. This is your visual cue to continue your combo. If you quickly hold one of the triggers during this pause, you can complete that other weapon's delay combo. This is actually so freaking cool, and is my favorite part about this wildly different combat system. It's super fun starting a slow combo with Dante's Axe Arbiter, and then finishing it with a Rebellion Spin, hitting every enemy around you. You can also do this for air combos, which both looks really cool and makes you feel like a badass. The guns Dante uses in this game aren't as exciting as the melee options available. Ebony and Ivory make their return, and you also get a pretty standard shotgun. Both are great for taking out airborne enemies, and actually do some pretty decent damage when upgraded against grounded threats. Rainstorm is back, but it's like the slowest, weirdest looking thing ever. Why so slow? One of the more interesting firearms.
Okay, so let's talk about Rainstorm, because I think that this is something that needs to be addressed.
Yes.
A lot of people really, really dislike Rainstorm. Hold on. Oh my god.
Yeah, you got anything to say about Rainstorm?
Yeah, I think it's quite disappointing what people think about it.
Mhm.
Uh, Rainstorm this Rainstorm is not a new concept to the DMC series as a whole. This was in DMC 2 basically. Dante kind of like pointing downwards and shooting slowly.
Yeah, DLC2's Rainstorm is pretty funny.
Yeah, it is pretty funny, but I think this is it in a more polished form. Like
Right.
it's not like okay, she does say that she doesn't like the way it looks. And to that I say I don't like the way it looks in DMC 4 or 5. It in 4 Dante basically teleports upwards to do the rainstorm. He is so fast with it. And I guess this could be me playing on turbo mode, you know, being an advanced player and everything, but the mainline series' Rainstorm does not look good to me simply because he jolts around in a
Yeah,
buggy fashion.
and I think it changes from 3 to 4 and 5. Like every game, it changes slightly. So here
Yes.
it's again a little bit different, yes.
Okay,
But
so
it has different functions. Like
Hmm.
I think inverted rainstorm is pretty cool. Like you can,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that is undisputable in my opinion. Inverted Rainstorm is probably
and
like an
you can
yeah.
cancel it for like other shit. So that's
Hmm.
pretty cool for tech stuff as well. So oh yeah, I really like the rainstorm stuff in this game.
Hmm.
yeah, personally, I like Rainstorm too. It's just different. Okay, back to what I was trying to say before my house like lights on fire or something like that. Okay, so basically, Rainstorm is slow, yes, but it has and it's like very strict, but it has very different functioning mechanics. Like inverted Rainstorm is really great because you can cancel out of it immediately and then like get like an inch off the ground, which is very helpful for like combos and looks really great too, honestly. And once mastered, you can do a lot with it. And then Rainstorm going down, yes, it's not the greatest thing in the same way the other one is, but what is hold on is
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, he might be on the phone or something.
hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
I thought he was
There
like
you go.
saying hello to us.
I think I didn't get recorded all the way. But anyway, it's fine. It's cool. It's Wacky Do Pizza Time. Who cares? Right. Anyway, going down, it's not the greatest, but you can stop that animation immediately, and it can help you stay in the air for longer. I still think that there are pros to this, and I do think that there are still cons to it, but it just comes down to it's different. It has a different series of mechanics and a different type of game. Doesn't have to be the same as before, right? Okay.
Hmm.
I think we cleared that up.
Yeah.
You can get is something called Kablooey. It's an explosive dart gun that you can tag enemies with for a delayed explosion. Pretty good for setting up larger charging enemies in trap combos. And that's all I have to say about the guns. They're really not as eventful as your melee attacks. Going back to those close quarters weapons for a sec, one of the new changes I'm not too hot on is the new Stinger input. So once again, unlike the original games, Stinger is no longer a lock-on directional input.
I would like to input something. So you can
I see
tell
what I
that
see.
she
I
didn't.
saw what you did there. Very clever.
uh, there, I have an issue with this specific segment of the video. She did not do her research on the guns, in my opinion. The guns are probably like one of the best things to come out of reboot, in my opinion, because the tech that you can do with them is pretty nasty, and there's a lot of tech just surrounding the guns entirely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just simple stuff like jump canceling kablooey, nothing.
Yes, nothing of
She
that
didn't
note.
mention
She
like
did it like
forget the charge
plainly.
shots. Like forget charge
Hmm.
shots. Like it's just jump cancel like the developers knew that and they implemented like more like faster kablooey speeds on definitive edition
Uh-huh.
and she doesn't even know it. Nothing. Nothing on that. So yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I also think the way that it functions is pretty important because it all like revolves around you using it in the air,
Hmm.
very cleverly. And I also think she overused Kablooey or like misrepresented Kablooey. Yeah, Kablooey is good for like bigger enemy types, but more importantly, it can move the other like enemy to like where you want them to. You can like
Yeah.
move them in a certain way, and then you can work off of that for smaller
And
enemy types.
you have complete control of like when you want to explode it, which is
Mhm.
insane for combos.
Yes,
She
which is
she said delayed explosion specifically. Delayed explosion is Revenant bomb.
Right.
Yeah, that's delayed.
This is a remote explosion, like C4, for example. You know, you have your charge.
Yeah, you have complete control. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I do agree with that. I don't. She clearly didn't care too much about the guns. I see.
He's just a scrub,
It's
guys.
an explosive.
Yeah. Dude, I watched some of her DMC3 video, and she said unironically her favorite loadout was Trickster, Rebellion, Cerberus, and then the regular Evanry and Ivory and shotguns. That's all she ever rocks.
That is
Apparently.
pretty vanilla if I've ever seen
Yeah.
vanilla.
dart gun that you can tag enemies with for a delayed explosion. Pretty good for setting up larger charging enemies in trap combos. And that's all I have to say about the guns. They're really not as eventful as your melee attacks. Going back to those close quarters weapons for a sec, one of the new changes I'm not too hot on is the new stinger input. So once again, unlike the original games, stinger is no longer a lock-on directional input. This time, stingers are performed by tapping the movement stick twice in the direction of the enemy. So if an enemy is right in front of you, you have to press forward, and then the attack button to zoom in on said enemy. This is very cumbersome and doesn't feel good when you want to throw one of these things out in the middle of a combo. It can also be easily interrupted by a passing enemy, or if two demons are right next to each other. That doesn't mean Dante is going to automatically choose the enemy you want to stinger. It's very strange and exists only because there is no lock-on in this game. This type of input isn't bad in concept.
Excuse me.
Bayonetta actually uses this as an alternative with its stinger input. That's the thing though, Bayonetta also has a lock-on button. It's not the only way to stinger. You have options in that game. In DMC, you don't. Hold your horses. We'll talk about this again in just a minute. Some problems that come with the basic gameplay formula
I
are
would
how
like
the
to
style
pause the video.
Yep.
So, one thing that she definitely did not do her research on is the buffer frames in this game. The buffer frames are absolutely insane. This is an exaggeration, but when you are in recovery, you have about a minute to input stinger.
Yeah.
The game is very generous with inputs.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's not like you can be doing a certain input wrong.
Also,
And-
this
and-
is me
and-
being nitpicky. My fingers hurt, so I don't want to input stinger, and I'm a giant baby.
And just personally speaking, I like this input more than the original. Original is fine, you can work with it for sure.
Mhm.
But personally, I like this more because you can go in any direction. You can just input stinger because you're kind of locked into, unless you know how to do reversals, you're kind of locked into where you can do stingers in the original games.
Yeah, because it's
So
a forward input, and you go directly towards the enemy.
yeah, and this is like any direction. You
Yeah,
just hit
you
the
have the
analog stick
freedom.
whichever direction.
You have the entire screen to work with basically in this game, and
Yeah, and
Yeah, and it's
There's-
an easy way for like new players to understand reversals.
it's not
Exactly.
like a true traditional reversal, but
Yeah,
it's
it's not
still
true.
like it's a movement option.
Right.
meter builds, and just how easy a lot of the enemies can feel at times. I gotta say, it's kind of weird that Dante doesn't have a taunt either this time around. For how abrasive this guy is in the story, it seems like a no-brainer, but I guess, Seriously, the biggest offense this game brings to the hack.
Okay. I do have to agree. I do like taunt.
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
taunt.
same.
It's very important.
Same.
And
I agree
obviously
with her.
because
Taunt.
the air taunt, especially in DMC5, also is really good as well. I think
Mm-hmm.
taunts are very important, and it's also very important to build your DT meter and
Yeah, very
Pretty much-
useful for speed runs.
yeah.
Guys, 14 minutes 20 seconds in, she made a good point. God damn.
We did it! Yay!
Yeah, we did it.
We celebrate. Now the video's over. It's done.
Yeah,
We've done our
yeah,
jobs.
5 stars.
Great
Remember to
video,
like,
see?
comment, subscribe, share with your grandmother, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Hack and slash table is that in a lot of circumstances, pretty much every enemy will go down easily to strong attacks. This will also, in a lot of cases, boost your style rating to the highest possible level, netting you more red orbs at the end of every mission, and basically being very strong incentive to not experiment. It might seem like a simple
What?
Yeah, this is very. She has conflicting statements in her own video, which is kind of strange.
But wait a second. But she says that like she likes a lot of the other stuff. She likes the delayed button combos. She likes the way how it's mostly laid out, except for like things like the stinger. But like why?
Rewind and
Yeah.
like listen to it.
Okay, I'm gonna try and see what she means.
play formula are how the style meter builds, and just how easy a lot of the enemies can feel at times. I gotta say, it's kind of weird that Dante doesn't have a taunt either this time around. For how abrasive this guy is in the story, it seems like a no-brainer, but I guess, Seriously, the biggest offense this game brings to the hack and slash table is that in a lot of circumstances, pretty much every enemy will go down easily to strong attacks. This will also, in a lot of cases, boost your style rating to the highest possible level, netting you more red orbs at the end of every mission, and basically being very strong incentive to not experiment.
Okay, Okay, so
What?
oh my god. Okay.
Wait,
so
wait,
for-
wait. I remember what this is. She explains further a little bit more into the video.
Okay. Do you
So
want me
give
to
it like
just-
another 30 seconds.
Okay.
Might seem like a simple concept, but using what works 100% of the time is what most people will do in a lot of games, newcomers especially.
Yeah,
This is a
that.
very interesting topic that I'll get into way more in just a bit. For now, let's talk about the enemies that stand in your way. The forces of hell Dante goes up against in this title
Yeah,
are
you.
well designed
That's
for the
it, basically.
Okay. Okay.
Wait,
So
that's untrue though. That's not true.
yeah, you can still experiment. Okay, maybe she's talking about the original game. I think that's what she's trying to say. But again, this is yet again another issue that was fixed in E. DE.
Also, I think her point here is entirely subjective because people won't usually gravitate towards what works 100% of the time. People will gravitate towards what gives you the happy chemical the most.
Yeah,
Because
and your
it makes you
move,
happy.
like Dante's moveset is still so large that people won't know the most efficient combos or whatever. They'll just be doing, rebellion combos most of the time.
Yeah, because
So
it's easy to input. The delay based combos are very easy to do, and
yeah,
it does decent damage considering what the weapons are.
Right.
yeah.
So I don't think that automatically, just because the style meter goes up quicker, that doesn't mean that the player won't experiment. As she's already said with the delayed button combos, there's a lot of ways you can already experiment just by what she's told us already with the guns as well. So
It's conflicting statements. I know it's very
And
frustrating.
the style meter still works on experiment. Like if you change your moves, you get more style from changing your moves. It still works like the classic games. Yes, it's more difficult in DE, but even the vanilla game, it still works on variation. You
Also,
still have to
show
vary your
you reminded me
attacks.
of something. She does not mention this in this video, but there is a decay mechanic for the style meter. And I know what you're thinking, like, yeah, it goes down, but what I'm saying is, the points on the right it gives you, those actually
Mhm.
decay if you repeat the moves.
Right.
Yes, yes.
just like a normal style meter would, like that
Yeah,
should be
just like
normal.
DMC 3 and 4 and 5.
I don't
Yeah.
think she mentions
Exactly.
that like you get less points. Like for example, 120 for the flawless kill.
But
Well, that's actually not a good thing, but drive. This is the better example. Drive. If you just spam drive, it will not always give you 1,500 points.
most part, even though
Yep.
yeah, exactly. I also think that like just because there's like the style meter can be overused, that doesn't mean this has no room to experiment. Like let me a good example of this, obviously I've been playing DMC3 a lot. DMC3's Devil Trigger Explosion is like seriously broken. It is probably
Yes.
one of the most broken things that you can charge it up a lot and then get into like where a ton of enemies are and then you just let go. Not only
That's
will it give you like a instant triple SS, but it will destroy everything, even on DMD mode.
Mhm.
So
it's your
Uh,
DMD win button, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I remember when I was getting into DMC3, looking up how to beat very hard in DMD difficulty. All anyone ever said was use Devil Trigger Explosion, and as a kid, I was like, "What is that? What is?" And people were like, "Hold it down," and I was like, "What? I didn't know
Yeah.
you could do that."
Yeah, exactly. And just because it has that mechanic, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden there's no experimentation. That's ridiculous.
You still have to build DT in DMC3. You have to hit the enemy. You don't just. It's not an instant win button.
Right.
It's just a win condition.
Right.
most of these demons are visually mannequin-like, they all have aesthetic differences that help you identify exactly how they'll act in combat. Basic mannequins often use arm blades, while some of the larger enemies carry shields that you have to break before you can deal damage effectively. And some demons have things like chainsaws that'll cancel your attacks and fuck you up pretty good if you're not paying attention. There are a variety of flying enemies which get totally owned by your guns, making Dante's pistols feel extra useful this time around. Other creatures like the Witch can cover their fellow demons in a force field, adding to the tension and the on-the-fly decision-making of combat. The rage monsters will often rush at Dante with armored attacks that you can parry only using specific weapons, like Dante's fist weapon, Eric's, and Rebellion's overdrive slashes. A few
This
enemies
isn't
actually
true.
have armored rush attacks.
What? Yeah. You can parry with anything. Unless they're the blue or red ones.
Actually, I was gonna mention that, but you can actually parry them with every weapon while they're the
Yep.
blue or the red ones.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes, as long as you hit them. I think it's not intended, but I wouldn't call it a glitch or anything like that. It's not an exploit. It's more like an oversight.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay. I
yeah,
have no
you can
idea.
parry. You can parry a lot of things in this game, even bosses. You can, dude. I just figured out like a few days ago. Apparently, I watched a video. You can parry Bob Barbas's laser beams attacks.
Speak of the devil,
Yes.
Snow came in here and showed us that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Snow's
Yeah.
in here now.
Yeah,
Nice.
what are you guys talking about? Oh, that. Yeah. I know. I told Jota about it like weeks ago. Yeah.
We are reviewing Susie's video, and it is being streamed, so no N words or anything.
Because we are expert reviewing people.
Yes,
Oh, is this being recorded? Oh no, it's being streamed, right?
yes, it's being
Yeah, it's
streamed
being
and
streamed.
technically recorded.
Mm.
If you want-
I would just say something actually, and I don't think this is controversial to say. I feel like a lot of people's criticism with Reboot is sometimes validated. The issue I find is that people are rehashing the same opinion over and over again that like the changes were not well received, which is validated. It's just that like there's something about it that just kind of bothers me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how do I say this? But like you guys get what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
It's always the same
Yeah.
thing. Like yeah, like I get it. Yeah, you don't like the changes. I agree. But then just like from there, it just like kind of gets into this type of tone, or frame that like
They're just regurgitating the same opinion. They've not formed their own.
Yeah. Personally, I think I'm gonna try and make a bingo card out of all the DMC Devil May Cry videos and just see how many of them line up. Let's see.
Yeah, it just yeah. You know what? I think I understand what I'm trying to get at. It just doesn't feel like a neutral review. Which, not to say that like there's anything wrong with non-neutral reviews. It just doesn't feel respectful. Yeah, there you go. It's because the thing is like I get it. It's like if I were to make a review about DMC 4, like I would bring up the good points and the bad points and be like, you know what, like the game really great combat, but the fact that it's unfinished does feel like it can feel hard for some people to enjoy. You see, the thing is, I see a lot of reviews that are very emotionally invested, and like I get it. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just at the same time, like the way it comes across to people who actually like the game, it just feels a little bit tiresome because it's always like the same thing over and over again. I don't like the new Dante. This shouldn't have existed.
Talking about the controversy for like a good chunk of the video. Yeah.
Yeah,
15 minutes in.
and like I don't have any problem with that, but it's just like it just gets so like fucking damn. It's like I think DMC4 players can relate to this even if they hate Reboot, because like I feel like when people hear the fact that like DMC4 is unfinished, it's like the same thing. Like yes, I know it's fucking unfinished. Like we all know this. It's like for the last fucking time. Like we've been here for 10 years. We know it's unfinished, man.
Do you guys know that DMC 1 was supposed to be Resident Evil?
Whoa,
shit.
really?
Whoa.
Whoa. Wow, I like
Damn.
colors too. Oh.
I don't know. It's like I'm not trying to make it that like they have to say something positive. It's just like I'm having trouble trying to fix. It's just like I'm just tired of just hearing the same thing that feels emotionally invested. I'm just like nothing feels respectful, nothing feels neutral. Like if you guys ever I don't know if you guys play Kingdom Hearts 3, but like one of Blitz's review, like when he brought it up, was pretty respectful, because even though there was a lot wrong with the game, objectively there was a lot wrong with the game, he did bring up the pros, which I liked because it felt like a very professional type of review. And the thing was, during the time, like it was so easy to hate on Kingdom Hearts 3. I hated it too because it felt very disappointing waiting 13 years for a game to be released. But like the thing is, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that like a lot of the reviews never feel neutral or feel fair. You guys actually brought this up with Angry Joe, because like even though there are some times where just like like he memes about it and that's just the way he is, I did like the fact that he was a bit fair with the game, because he did highlight the points that Reboot with the gameplay, like it was solid. He didn't like Cad because he just didn't like it. He didn't like the new Dante, but that's the point I'm trying to make. Is that like it's feeling so old and tiresome that like every fucking time there's a review, I'm just like, listen, man, I know what you're gonna say. You don't have to tell me. I'll save you the 40 minutes.
I thought he liked the new Dante, but not everything about him.
Oh, that is that. Okay, then maybe I. Okay, see. Now I'm in the wrong here. See. Somebody better make a bingo card with me, because I'm just.
No. It's I could be wrong too. I don't know for sure. I haven't watched the video in a while.
What? So wait, what's the deal? Wait, where are you with the video? What's going on?
So currently, we are right now in the combat section, I believe.
Oh.
She was very, very wrong about parries already.
Yes.
Wait. Did she say that parries made it too easy, or that like parries
No,
what
she was just factually wrong on a parry mechanic, which
Oh,
is kind of disappointing.
that's sad. I think I like the pair system. I can understand why people would say it trivializes it, even though that's not in. It's not entirely true, but like, is that what she's saying, or like what is she saying exactly?
Oh, so blue and red enemies, color-coded enemies,
I
they
think she's talking about rage.
Right,
yeah, rage
Yeah.
specifically, you can parry with any weapon in this game other than
Yeah.
guns, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And since they're color-coded, people tend to think that you have to parry with a blue weapon, but that's not true.
Okay, I didn't know this. Wow, that's wild.
You
Yeah,
can
nor did
parry
I.
with any weapon on rages, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can.
know if
I've tested it before. It's you can parry it with like Rebellion.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. Even if the game made it so you can only parry with red weapons against red weapons and vice versa, what's the issue with that? I'm not understanding. Like, it sounds pretty straightforward.
No. So what she's saying that you can only parry with rebellion and blue weapons, I think.
Oh, against
Or
all enemies, or just like
against rages.
I? That's disappointing.
Oh, what did she say? I don't really. Would you?
Yeah,
Replay
yeah,
it?
yeah, replay it. I apologize for taking over the stream.
it's okay. We called you in like a Marvel assist.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about the enemies that stand in your way. The forces of hell Dante goes up against in this title are well designed for the most part. Even though most of these demons are visually mannequin-like, they all have aesthetic differences that help you identify exactly how they'll act in combat. Basic mannequins often use arm blades, while some of the larger enemies carry shields that you have to break before you can deal damage effectively. And some demons have things like chainsaws that'll cancel your attacks and fuck you up pretty good if you're not paying attention. There are a variety of flying enemies which get totally owned by your guns, making Dante's pistols feel extra useful this time around. Other creatures like the witch
No,
can
no,
cover
no,
those
no, yeah.
demons and force field.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
We already went over the gun section in this video, so
Yeah, her gun section is pretty bad.
Okay. Because I honestly thought for a second you guys were gonna disagree. I thought you guys were gonna disagree with me about the guns. Honestly.
nah, the guns are great in this game.
No, they're pretty good. They serve they're not like the most in-depth thing, like they're not like
Yeah.
gunslinger, but they still have like a function in the game that's
Yeah.
like good with the broader context.
Also, they're massively better than what we got in DMC4, in my opinion.
Oof. Come on, dude, don't you want the gaming chair?
The God Pod.
Wait. So continue. Like, what's she saying about the pairing system?
yeah, go ahead.
The tension and the on-the-fly decision-making of combat. The rage monsters will often rush at Dante with armored attacks that you can parry only using specific weapons, like Dante's fist weapon.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, that's false.
Oh, God fucking damn it, guys! If you're gonna hate the game, play the.
Yeah, right. Also, one thing I noticed after watching this video, some of this gameplay isn't even hers.
Yeah. I was about to ask, like, is she the one playing this? Because that's slightly impressive.
Well, no, I find it kind of strange that she would review a game without indication that some of this gameplay wasn't hers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but okay, here's my thing about that, right? As somebody who does like YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
Personally,
Yeah, you can't play the game like all the time. you know?
Yeah, you can't. Okay, so personally, for me at least, if you want to like include somebody else's video, number one, give credit. But sometimes if it's like a snippet, it really doesn't matter. Like if it's just like a small snippet and you need it for like, I don't have this thing. Okay, just throw it on screen for like 3 seconds, right? But like taking somebody's like whole playthrough or like taking somebody else's on YouTube and then putting it on there, like feels extremely cheap because now that could like change your perspective on the game because that's not showing like your experience with the game. The whole point of a review and analysis is to show your experience with the game and then make something off of that. If you're taking somebody else's experience of the game and then making the review, that's actively harmful and kind of like morally wrong if you think about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Please
Agreed.
play the video. I actually want to stay here for a while and just see what else she has to say.
And Rebellion's overdrive slashes. A few enemies actually have armored rush attacks like this, notably the hulking tyrants that run straight for you. I love how the game itself just tells you outright that you can do advanced counters like this, like the ones I just mentioned, instead of risking the player never figuring such things out. It goes back to the dev's original goal.
Wait, what? No, that's wrong. No. The game actually does tell you. Actually,
No,
There are
that's
times-
what she's saying.
she
It
said.
does tell
That's
you.
what she's
Yeah,
saying.
that's what she
That's
says.
what
Okay, I'm sorry. That was my bad then. That was my bad.
It's okay, it's cool.
One to be able to play this game stylishly and coming out feeling like a badass. Not every enemy is well designed, however. Some you'll encounter happen to be color coded, only taking damage and stagger for specific.
Before we get into this whole spiel,
Here we go.
before we get into all this, I
Okay.
want you to remember that she said the game doesn't. It's not encouraged to be stylish. But then the game, in this statement that she made like a few seconds before this, it tells you that you have the ability to use these other moves on certain enemies, like with the hooks on the tyrants.
Mm-hmm.
And those statements kind of conflict with each other because it gives you the option to use these other moves that she finds is very interesting. But then she said that you don't have to use all the moves in this. I don't understand. Maybe it's because English isn't my natural language.
No, I just think that Sphere Hunter has like a very bad way of like presenting her arguments. She's
Okay.
not presenting them as clearly as she could, because like some of the stuff that she would say, for me at least, I would build a little bit more background as to what I think about that before saying that, you know.
She's just vomiting ideas.
Yeah, she's just like,
That's-
let's take
That's
Fox
also
game,
my issue with this
gaming
video
break.
is
There we go.
Please.
Yeah.
Or
My-
wait, did you... Yeah, go on. Sorry.
my issue with this video is I also feel like she didn't reread her script, which is I get like crunching and all that, but she definitely has leeway on time
Yeah,
considering what
gets-
she does.
Yeah, she has a Patreon. Like any YouTuber that has like a full-on Patreon and stuff like that and can actively make a living on YouTube. I'm sorry, my sympathy runs very thin when you say, "Oh my god, I didn't check my script." You know, it's something for like some dude in like Nebraska who's got like 70 subscribers and he like uploads and is like, "Oh no, that's a mistake." And then there's somebody that has like 200k subscribers and then makes a mistake and then just leaves it in there. You know, there's a difference.
It's lazy work ethic in my opinion.
Yeah.
Demon or angel weapons, the Hell and Frost Knights, the Ghost and Blood Rage variants are some of the various color-coded enemies. These guys really suck on your first playthrough. A lot of the time when they show up in the early game, you'll most likely only have one of each colored weapon and not many attacks to go with them. This is obviously super restrictive from a basic gameplay standpoint. You'll be painfully mashing out the same attacks until they die, killing the fun and flow of combat. Once you've got a few playthroughs under your belt, this problem is somewhat alleviated but not entirely taken care of. Even if you have every single unlockable skill for every weapon, the basic hack and slash gameplay formula is still being limited. You can't
Okay, so first off, let me just say real quick, in DMC3, your enemy type was absolutely limited. Like, compared to, like, all the weird, wonky, like, oh, dude, just look away and then, like, attack them.
That's
Oh, dude, like, run around them with their shields. Oh, no. Like, okay, you being limited is, like, a thing that was in previous enemy types, right? So this is not new. Number two, they fixed this with Definitive Edition. You can
she
attack
gets
them.
into that,
Oh,
but
boy.
she also doesn't like Definitive Edition's color-coded enemy mechanics.
Wait,
Wait,
how?
wait.
But it fixed it. Wait, how?
Okay, so I'm gonna say something, and you guys probably won't like it.
Oh,
No,
man.
just say it. Just say it.
She specifically states that it feels janky hitting them with non-color-coded weapons.
What?
And
Wait. Do you like ice cream or not? Which one is it?
yeah, I don't understand it. Like,
Wait,
so you want it to be fixed, but you don't like the fix?
that doesn't make any. Wait, that's like a completely contradictory statement. If she's like, okay, like it doesn't work, it limits your combat, and then as soon as they do that, they let her do that, and then she's like, oh, it's janky. It's like, what? What do you mean? That fixed the system. That fixed the problem that you were directly talking about. That.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's.
I kind of understand where she's coming from, but not entirely.
Okay, sorry. You go first. Sorry.
So my original like theory on the whole red and blue enemies was they weren't intended to be in the game until like later on in the development cycle where they couldn't change it so quickly because the enemy's already in the game. So why use useless assets and all that? But my original theory was that Rebellion was supposed to be universal and could damage everything. And if you hit a blue enemy with a red weapon, it does less damage and less knockback. And you could kind of see this in Definitive Edition, where the enemies don't get knocked back as hard when you use a red weapon on a blue enemy.
Right.
I want to say something there. So okay, 2 points, and I'll be really quick about it because I know everybody has something to say. In the beginning, she said that like red and blue enemies, like it just feels limited because you're spamming the same move. Okay, I understand. My experience was different because the thing was spamming the same move sometimes allowed me to deepen my understanding of a move. So I'll explain. So like something like flush, right? Like when I first started using it, like I had no idea that like it could be used as a way of crowd control. So the fact that I was limited made me deepen my knowledge. Now, that I know that's subjective, but that's just something I want to share. The second thing is, this is a hard disagree. She said it later on that like dealing with red and blue enemies just feels like, what did she say? Like it just feels meh because like it just feels
janky.
Yeah, I disagree with that because when I honestly think about like handling a blood rage or like a hell knight or a frost knight and a ghost rage, I honestly feel like it isn't that hard because I'll give you an example. So like let's say I have a frost knight, like, and I'm only limited to angel weapons, right? Like no guns, no nothing, right? Like okay, so you can go round trip, you can use Orisis and do the hold L2 triangle, and then you can lift them up in the air. You can do jump canceling. If you can't do that, you can just do a simple like 1-2 pause triangle combo, and then you can switch with that. Like that's pretty easy. Whereas for demon, like I still don't feel like it's hard because what can you do? Well, you can do a flush, and if you know how to do the thing that Sam D did, it's like inverse rainstorm.
Instant drop.
Yeah, and then an instant flush. But the thing is, you can also do jump canceling with them. So like if you ever do
These are good
R2O and then like you punch the enemy in the air with the fist weapons, and then you start doing like a jump cancel arbiter R2 triangle, like the game becomes like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's the point I'm trying to get. I don't really feel like it's like that jankiness. I feel like, to me personally, I feel like there are more than enough movesets to really deal with the enemies. As for styling, I'm going to be honest. Like, I honestly feel like the audience wins with this one because I know it can feel like that hard. Another thing is, there's also payoff and what's the other one? Yeah. Like that also. Like the point I'm trying to get is like I feel like there's enough variety to deal with them, but jump counseling is, kind of hard to learn since nobody's going to really teach that. So yeah, but yeah, I'm just ranting here.
Also, demon weapons do massive damage just inherently, so the red enemies are no problem.
Yeah.
And the blue weapons also deal massive damage, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Osiris has to ramp up.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys disagree with me, that's totally cool. I don't know, just rant.
It's okay. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. Snow, did you have anything to say?
I don't like this video so far.
Oh boy. Okay.
Here we haven't even seen all of it.
Oh no, there's more. We're not even halfway through.
Just play it.
Still being limited. You can't really experiment with these types of enemies. The game is literally stopping you in your tracks and telling you have to play a certain way, which totally sucks. Imagine crafting a carefully curated combo that involves all of Dante's weapons. Well, if one of these guys shows up, have fun putting all of your hard work on the shelf for a while until you flowchart these guys to death. That being said, there is a lot of enemy variety in this game.
That's just the learning of the game.
That is also subjective because everyone's experience is different and no one will flowchart the same as you.
Okay,
yeah, and
people won't even flowchart sometimes.
And that's just the game trying to teach you something, and you're just being lazy.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly, it's lazy, and I understand people don't have time to play video games all the time.
Yeah, you just want to mash Rebellion all the time. Like, what? Okay.
Oh no, I have to switch to the other weapon. This means it's exactly like a flowchart. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Can't you bring this argument to DmC for enemies though? Because like you know how there's Chimera C and Scarecrow, right? Because like
you have to play differently around them.
Exactly. It's also with Blitz as well. No, Blitz is a very hard like stopping on your styling. Yeah, so it's like
because you literally can't hit them. You have to shoot them down.
Yeah.
Well, from a player, like a new player's perspective, you can't hit them.
Right. That's what the.
There are a lot of issues with her arguments in this video.
Anyways, continue on, I guess.
Yeah.
These colorful fools aside for a minute and analyze everything else, most of it is really good. The enemies all being clearly identifiable as they appear and actually fun to fight against, counter, and style on is a huge plus in this game's favor. The demons you'll be triggering throughout this title are pretty
Okay, now she just 180, like, okay, what?
Oh no.
Also,
no.
very, very good fan art.
No, not this again, please. I remember watching her DmC2 video and she's like, oh, now it's time for me to turn into my devil trigger. And I was like, God, please don't.
Yeah, she does that again.
Why have you abandoned us, God?
Also, I wish she showed more butt, but you know what? That's just me being horny. So.
Man.
Need me a goth woman?
No.
Oh my God.
Application's open.
Oh man! And before you're like, not DmC fans is horny, and look at you now.
Well, no, I admit I am horny. Yes.
I hope to God that Sphere doesn't find this video.
I hope she does. I am open.
No, no.
Throw the ball towards me, please. I'm
Boy.
desperate.
Here we go. Here's her devil trigger.
Yeah.
Reminds me, whatever happened to my devil trigger? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Oh,
Why don't we
God.
check it out together? Wait, that's it? My jacket turns red? Oh, my hair is white. That's kind of familiar looking and also extremely underwhelming. Where are my scales? Where are my wings? Where is my lightning? So yeah, Devil Trigger in this game is super weird. For one, the visuals are very boring. Instead of turning into an actual demon, Dante becomes player 2 colors, and the whole world turns blindingly white for whatever reason. Every single enemy around Dante floats in midair, encouraging you to start air comboing. The problem here is that DT doesn't last very long. So for a few seconds, Dante has this insane advantage against his foes, but can barely do anything creative that isn't just hooking himself up to them, spamming the same attacks until they die, and trying his best to hook his way to another enemy.
No, that's unbelievably wrong.
Is she playing the game or what?
Also,
Oh my god.
on top of all this, this is entirely up to the user.
Right.
Devil Trigger is what you make of it, to put it in simpler terms.
Right.
Don't tell me you don't have options with Devil Trigger.
Yeah, because it literally, like the way that it floats them up can be used for like interesting combos.
Also, it literally stuns everything. You are free to do any move.
Anything. But nah.
And
She's just admitting she just wants to spam Rebellion.
Okay. Wait.
Show with the shade.
Where's my trickster? It doesn't make sense.
Okay. There's something I need to say. Okay, I understand people not liking the Devil Trigger reboot. I get that, and it's art, it's subjective. But the thing is, if you go to the concept of reboot, like it makes sense. The whole idea is that there's a conspiracy. Dante can see through it. Like that's with the effects. That's the whole theme of it. That's if you don't like it, that's okay. But like that's you know what I mean. Like
Also, I was never interested in the mainline series' Devil Trigger. It is literally just Super Saiyan, and I like the interesting take on Dante's like manipulation of the world around him, and time stop is just a cool mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't even go over the time stop thing. I think I don't remember. I could be wrong on this, but it's just wrong. Like she completely misunderstood what Devil Trigger does in this game.
yeah.
Right. There is still like okay, and another thing about the design. The design originally was supposed to be an angel and demon form. You can find this all the way back in the concept art when they had the tattooed Dante, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that when you turned into demon, you have a demon trigger. Essentially, that would turn you into a more devilish, like maybe red would be the color, and it would turn you into like a blackish form. And then obviously we had the angel, which was like very angelic, had light colors like blue and white. These were all things to like add to the color scheme. That's essentially what the idea was. But they saw that fans didn't like it, and they were like, "Oh no, we gotta make Devil Trigger like some way to appeal to the fans. Let's turn his coat red and make his hair white. They'll like that, right?" And then obviously people didn't like that.
To add on to all this, my theory was you see that D-pad button that isn't used? In my opinion, that was supposed to be the Devil Trigger button.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like you press it and you go into Angel Devil Trigger, and then you click both the sticks or whatever your input is, and then you're in Angel, and it'll be like weapon switching, but with a DT gauge.
Right.
Like Angel Trigger and Devil Trigger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just my theory, though. I don't know what
Yeah, I
they
mean,
plan on using. the D-pad
Virgil
down.
kind of has that. So
Yeah, the
probably
doppelganger
holds.
forms.
yeah.
Enemy before the
Okay.
DT gauge runs out. You can obviously extend Devil Trigger with upgrades, but even then, DT doesn't last very long, even when you max out the meter. Now, I know some of you guys are probably ready to tackle me based on all of the gameplay stuff I've talked about so far. So yes, I'm going to address the other version now. So back in 2015, an updated version of this game was released. DmC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. This re-release sought to improve on a lot of complaints fans had with the initial release of this very divisive reboot. Definitive Edition, or DE, changed a lot of stuff, like how Devil Trigger works, the style system got an overhaul in the hardcore mode, color-coded enemies now take damage from all weapons, and Dante comes equipped with an optional lock-on button. This version of the game also primarily runs at 60 FPS, where the vanilla console version was locked at 30. While I really appreciate a lot of the changes made in this version, I still have a few problems, so let's talk about those. The lock-on system in DE isn't as good as it should be. For one, it's not a real lock-on. Dante's stinger can be mapped to a lock-on directional input, like the older games, but his entire animation framework is exactly the same as DMC vanilla. Unlike the original DMCs, where when you locked on, Dante in those games was hard focused on whichever enemy was in front of him, only being able to move forward, back, left, and right, allowing for those satisfying lock-on directional attacks. Here, it's more of a camera lock-on, which isn't inherently bad, it just doesn't jive with me personally.
What?
Oh my god.
I'm a little
Wait,
confused in
so
this statement.
okay, so let's just say that she doesn't personally like it. You introduced a problem that you said before, that there was no lock on. You bashed it into our heads. You were like, "Hey, there's no lock on. We need lock on." And then they give you lock on, and then you're like, "Well, it's not the exact same. It's not the exact same as the series. I thought you were okay with the principled version of a lock on. I thought you, on the basis, liked the lock-on system because it was good and needed to be added to the game. You liked the fact that in Bayonetta it gave you options, but here all of a sudden, nah, I don't like it that it's in DE. It's not the same. Oh well.
I understand where she's coming from technically on the whole like lock on thing, where Dante literally points his gun at said enemy,
Yes.
but it's kind of different in this game because Dante doesn't have those like lock on animations. And I guess you could say it was lazy on Ninja Theory's part, but was it really? The game never needed lock on.
Yes, it wasn't built on it. It's just an added feature. Just like actually Bayonetta is the same way. You don't need lock on, but it's there, just like Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like is she gonna shit on Bayonetta now? Of course not, because you know.
Bayonetta is good.
Yeah.
There's no
Everyone
reboot for
agrees, right,
Bayonetta.
guys? Everyone
Rick
agrees.
is-
Bayonetta's good.
Reboot bad.
Okay, play the video.
Alright, we're kind of shitting on her right now, but I just want everybody to know we don't have any like malice towards Susie.
I might.
Okay,
Except
Snow
for
does,
me.
but that's because Snow is weird.
And
Yeah,
me.
okay.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
uh,
kidding. Okay.
Jodo
Okay.
definitely doesn't have any malice because you know.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
funny.
I will give her my number happily.
No. Hey, yo,
Snow-
girl, want to talk about DMC? Hook it
Yeah.
up. Damn.
Also, just don't mention it during sex.
Oh my. Oh my god.
In the middle, he activates his DT trigger.
Shut the fuck up. Dick
Okay.
trigger. The DT is dick trigger. All right, let's go. Whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
Oh my god, I just got that.
I'd rather
Okay,
stick to the
never mind.
non-lock-on options available here. It also gets really confusing because when I'm holding down a lock-on button in a DMC game, I expect things like the launcher and dodge to also act in the same way it originally did. But those things are still
All right,
locked to a
pause it.
single button.
What? But
why?
like that's a personal thing. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I was literally
expected
just
it.
gonna say that. That is literally a personal problem. That
Yeah.
is you getting confused.
Then play the game more. Fix
Yeah.
your issue right there. You just get used to that system. If you don't like it personally because it feels different and you're not used to it, then maybe play the game more and then get used to it. That's the whole thing behind like muscle memory and like training your brain to do that. Like,
I understand the confusion coming from older games, but that is literally an accessibility issue with you. Because the people that picked up this game first don't have this accessibility issue.
right.
Presses, so you're not getting a full DMC-like lock-on here. Color-coded enemies taking damage from all weapons feels a little limp, unfortunately. While enemies can in fact take damage.
Oh,
Yeah, like I
boy.
said, she says it's jank.
A limp. It's limp. Hooray. Limp. Who uses the word limp unironically? Limp. Yes, sir. I would like a limp turkey.
Biscuit.
Like a limp biscuit, sir. Yeah, we have already covered this. This is dumb. This is really dumb. It's the same issue that she keeps on having with DE. It's like, thing bad, okay? We fixed
They
it.
fixed thing,
Not,
yeah.
They fixed thing, so it's not bad anymore, right? Well, you see... Oh, boy. You know.
You,
Does
you
she
just
also,
can't.
wait, hold on. Does she also not know what she wants to eat when she's hungry? Is this what?
She asks for pizza, and then the pizza man pulls up to her door, and she's like, "Wait a second, I didn't order pizza. What are you talking about?
I didn't want this.
I wanted chicken wings. What are you talking
Yeah, why
It's
don't you
like-
bring me tacos or some
Dude,
shit?
okay.
dude?
Dude, this is Papa John's, ma'am. I'm sorry.
We're shitting right here. Okay. Let's just
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Now, they don't stagger like if you hit them with an appropriately colored weapon. So while you're comboing one of these fools, they can still attack and move around like nothing's happening to them. It feels very janky in my opinion. Whenever I play DE, I rarely take advantage.
Wait. Everybody stop. No. I got something to say since I play DMC 3. No. Okay. So, you know what? Fuck if this is wrong. Okay. In DMC 3, DMD, like, there was a counter, 2 counters, right? It's like, you can't stagger the enemy just like that. And if I'm correct, it was this way in normal difficulty as well with some enemies. So this feels very nitpicky, to be honest. Like,
Actually, yeah, you're right about that. It is straight up a mechanic, and Dante must die. You cannot stagger them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's just so.
Uh-oh.
Also, here's another thing. It's
Looks like
like
somebody's a scrub.
no. I know. I need to say
Somebody's a
this too.
scrub.
Like Ninja Theory was not wrong for making it so they don't stagger. Because if you ever watch any gameplay, like okay, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep or 2, if you ever seen them use a mod where everything staggers, the game becomes ridiculously fucking easy. So and that they're not wrong for like being like, no, you can't stagger. That's them being like healthy gameplay. Yeah. So what the fuck is this?
I don't know. She doesn't seem to know what she wants in a video game, in my opinion.
This is very nitpicky. So far. I'm going to be honest. Like some of my points may not be right, but I know this is just like no. This DmC3 dude. Like,
Yeah.
have you
Yeah,
DMD? Have you touched
Yeah,
it?
And there is, I mean, even with vanilla blue and red enemies, there is a point to why they do that. They're trying to teach you to use those weapons and get used to like the different movesets, the moves that you have with those weapons. It's not just for like, oh, we just want to limit creativity.
Well, no,
It's
it
trying to
actually
get
like
you.
expands it.
Yeah, it's actually trying to get you to use those weapons more. So there's a point to it. And like, yes, it's a little bit different. It's improved, I think, in the. I haven't played EE, but I can see what it's trying to do. So you still need to have that incentive to teach you to use red and blue. That's why you can stagger with those weapons, but if you don't use those weapons, you don't stagger. So you still have that incentive, but you can still also damage with the other weapons. So I think it's a good compromise.
There's something else I gotta say. Like, has she? You know, you can just jump cancel, right? Like, no. You can. You can. If you are that. If staggering is that big of an issue, you know, you can just jump cancel the enemy in the air.
Yeah. There
I
are
don't know.
ways to get around this mechanic that she doesn't like, but she doesn't want to explore these ways.
Because that fits her narrative. Because at the end of the day, if you can like complain about a game mechanic and not know more about it, then how are you in the wrong, right? If you don't know enough about it, how do you know that you're wrong, right? That would actually take like research and stuff, and it's like hard, guys. I don't think you guys understand. They have to like sit down, they have to like play the game, and they have to like hear other people talk about it. Guys, that's too much for her. Come on.
That was amazing. Okay. I need to say this directly to her, and like, I don't have Twitter, so like, I don't fucking. Who cares? I
Wait,
see
you in
it.
her DM? What's her number?
No,
no.
Jojo, I swear.
I need to say this directly to her. I'm being dead serious when I say this. I don't think you're being fair towards the game. Okay, first of all, like, I get if you don't like some of the controls, except the thing is, like, the game went through production issues, and it's just like the game was built without a lock on at the time. Like, there's only so much they can do. You can't just say, like, oh, they should just, add the animations. Maybe there were limitations they don't know about. And some of these things are very nitpicky. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's fair towards the game. There's nothing wrong with dislike and replay. I'm being very serious when I say this. I just don't like it when this just feels so like.
You're not taking the game
Unjustified.
on its own terms.
Yeah, it's just very ingenuine or disingenuous. I don't know the word, but it just feels very dishonest. Like, it's not being very fair. And I'm saying this directly to you because there's some things about this game where it's like these aren't that big of an issues, like these are things designed with a point, and these are things that have taken inspiration from the previous DmC games. The fact that I can say that this feels like an argument that can be used against DmC3 or DmC4 really has me honestly self-questioning, like like how validated towards this review is. No, I'm being very serious because I honestly feel like if you review DmC3 or you review DmC4, you wouldn't bring these issues up, but like a fair person would, because the thing is, they're right over there. Some enemies you can't stagger in DmC3. Some enemies you honestly are limited. Like, imagine if in DmC3 you all remember the angel weapon, the angel enemy, right? Like,
The one that covers his face?
how do you think I feel using Trickster against that guy? Honestly, how do you think I feel using Gunslinger against Virgil 1? Like
It's
maybe
the other games do have issues.
yeah.
And I think she just has nostalgia goggles on where she wants it to be like good thing.
I will be honest. Maybe the examples I used might be a little bit nitpicky, and I will be honest. I'm being disrespectful right now. The point but I'm still saying this for a reason. Like, I don't like how unprofessional this review is, and I'm being unprofessional too. So you can call me out for that too. Not that I have Twitter or whatever. So whatever. But like, yeah, it's just this isn't very a fair review. You don't see people eating like $500 like expensive food being like, oh, this is shit, so I hate it. No, they actually take the time to tell you why this is not okay, what went well. This is all very nitpicky. It's not okay. So yeah, okay, whatever. No, nobody cares what I have to say. So do whatever you want.
Splinter, go ahead.
Okay. There is one more thing that I also want to mention before we go is or before we press play, is the fact that I know you guys said it was well edited, but it's really not. Like a lot of the gameplay that I've seen like takes a while for it to cut to like the next scene, and then also the fact that she's not using editing in a clever way, or like, oh no, he was upset, and then I was upset at this point at the video, right? You show like Dante getting angry or something, right?
Yeah.
That's like good editing. This is not good editing, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think she showed a parry example, right?
No.
So if you usually want to show examples of the parry mechanic when you're talking about the parry mechanic.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. You put the parry system DMC 5 and everybody like is okay with it, but you put it in reboot, nobody knows about it.
Yeah, it's that's.
I don't know.
They took a lot of inspiration from Reboot and put it into DMC5, and nobody said anything about that.
You know what? I'm being an asshole. I'm being honest about that. Yeah. Anyways,
Of this new
continue
feature.
on.
I just default to using the assigned weapons, which totally sucks. It's not all doom and gloom, however. With this re-release, so many new modes and mechanical changes were implemented that offer a much improved experience. Turbo mode boosts the game's speed, making for quite the thrilling combat experience. Must style mode sees Dante only dealing damage with a high enough style rank. This mode really is for true Devil May Cry legends. There's a new hardcore mode, which is toggleable for every difficulty setting. Basically what this does is change how the style meter works, how parries function, enemies hit harder, and Devil Trigger now acts a lot more like it used to in the older DMC titles. That's right, enemies no longer float in the air for no reason. Dante gets a damage buff, his HP regens, and the meter burns a bit slower. I just gotta say, hardcore is a massive improvement. I highly recommend using this setting if you're more familiar with the older games in this series. There is a much larger issue that unfortunately can't entirely be fixed, and that's DE being locked to PS4 and Xbox One. Sadly, there was never a PC release of this much improved version of the game. There are plenty of mods out there for the PC version of DMC Vanilla that allow you to mimic this experience.
Snow Splinter.
I just want to tell the audience, Johto's a big Borderlands 2 fan. Okay, that's the inside joke.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, show, but you don't know, but soon. Soon, TM.
So okay.
Soon.
But that doesn't make up for how lame it is that there isn't an officially released better version of the game for all players. Most of the hardcore combo scene for this game in particular was on PC when Vanilla released, so having DE be available to those players would have been really nice, but that's not the world we live in, sadly. DE is a great experience if you haven't played this game.
no.
If you have access to a PS4, 5, Xbox One, or one of the series consoles,
well,
definitely check out
wait,
this
what?
version of the game. The only element we have to talk about
Show,
What?
show, it's okay, don't worry. Just don't worry about it.
What?
Don't worry about it, show.
Shh. Quiet. We're keeping it quiet for now, okay? We're gonna have to Secret Service your ass, okay? If you know too much,
Yeah.
okay?
The cap cops are coming.
play the video.
about is a big one. This title's very interesting level design.
Okay.
So unlike the original Devil May Cry games, platforming and exploration play a much larger role. In the fragmented living world of Limbo, Dante has to explore an ever-changing environment. As you trek through this hellish but beautiful landscape, the ground itself will often shift, requiring you to jump, air dash, glide, and pull yourself around with your hook. It's pretty satisfying to see basic traversal in this game. Platforming was something that was barely touched on in the previous DMC games, and when it did show up, it always felt like an afterthought, something randomly put in place to spice up the basic gameplay. Honestly, in most action-heavy hack-and-slash games, when platforming shows up, it's usually pretty bad. Here in DMC Devil May Cry, it feels like a fully fleshed out and very intentional gameplay mechanic that the developers wanted to explore for this game's world and combat. In a lot of cases, during certain missions, platforming comes into play during basic combat.
Okay, so I think we can all agree platforming is actually good in DMC Double May Cry, and literally even in DMC 3 it was terrible. Like, like oh my god, remember the blocks, guys? Remember the squares?
Cube room?
Yeah, the
Dude.
cube room, dude. It's
I
great.
hated it, but I loved it because I hated it. It was infuriating.
There's something I would really want to say. I think the what is it called? Like, you know how the ground moves towards like limbo, like exit in limbo, stuff like that. I honestly think Ninja Theory deserves a round of applause for that. No, you guys don't. No. Because I think it's great that they were able to do that type of thing back then.
Limbo was very creative and very welcome in my book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sad that they didn't include
Absolutely.
it into later games. So
I mean,
'Cause-
the
Their levels-
DMC5 did have like the kind of moving environment, and I think that was inspired by
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
the reboot.
Mhm.
enemies as
The
the
one
final hope.
thing that I'm gonna relate this to an anime, which is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the introduction of stands being a ghostly thing that regular people can't see was very good and implemented in a way in Reboot to introduce the demon world and all that, like just the presence of something not being right. You know, like Cat is psychic, so she can kind of see Limbo and all that,
Yeah.
but she doesn't necessarily have like demon powers or anything like that. And considering the fact that it's a different world entirely, they have more creative freedom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pretty creative solution when I watched the video about them developing Reboot, because they had all these locations and these ideas, but they could never figure out like how to make it work. And when they came up with Limbo, they were able to piece it all together. You know, how like make them all connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see.
In a traversal scenario that opens up into combat. There's a level in particular where a glass floor is constantly breaking and dropping out underneath you while fighting flying enemies. This level in particular, there are endless opportunities to recover from falling off the stage by hooking onto an enemy
I
and pulling
commend
yourself
her
back
for
up.
this.
It's really cool stuff that sets this game.
Yes. Yay. She actually.
People don't talk about this room enough. This room is very good.
Yeah, it is. It's really creative too.
Mhm.
And you have a secret encounter in this room as well. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. It's nice.
Apart from other action titles of its kind. Of course, not everything is perfect. For all the good level design, exploration, and platforming, there are some pretty uninspired and boring traversal
Oh,
set pieces
this.
that make the game feel
Oh,
on
boy.
rails at certain moments.
The
This game released in
Virgil mobile.
2013, which was still the era of cinematic games, so of course, some of that type of design finds itself in this Devil May Cry reboot. Boss fights are definitely affected with this type of boring automated set piece design. By the way, secret missions
Okay. To me, set pieces
That
really
wasn't
aren't all that
wait,
bad.
wait, that wasn't a boss fight at all. It was just you just run through the level. There's no boss fight there. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Also,
yeah, exactly. I'm telling her her clips don't line up with what actually she's saying.
Uh-huh. The Virgil mobile mission is quite good in the fact that it's developing Dante's character powers, and it's not necessarily you just run through the mission like it's a cutscene, because you fight enemies, you help Virgil and Cat. It's not like a completely useless mission.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to you have like a limited amount of time because like the Virgil mobile might get
Yeah.
crushed, so you have to like use the enemy design like around you and like creative on how you move from one platform to the other. Personally, I like that because there's like a sense of build up to the boss versus in previous games like a lot of the build up to the boss was just like a level then a boss at the end, you know.
Yeah.
Versus there's like an interlude in a sense to the actual boss.
Also, the one thing I really had a problem with is DMC3's boss rush room. Why
Oof.
does that exist?
Oof.
I don't remember there being any reason for the boss
Oh,
rush.
right. Mission 18 or something, right?
Yeah,
can-
where
18, yeah.
it's just a white room and you kill
Yeah.
a bunch of bosses.
Yeah.
I can actually slightly defend DMC3. No, slightly respectfully. Okay, so the thing is, to me, DMC3, it taught me a lot about becoming analytical and understanding like the strategies it was trying to get you to learn to face certain bosses. So like when I saw the boss room, like the only thing I understood was like this was a test to see if you actually learned what you learned. But like that's just it. That's my only point.
I did like the room's concept and everything, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know why it exists in lore. That's my problem.
Oh, okay, yeah. That I got nothing on that.
Also, the bosses, I liked the endless onslaught where you really can't heal or anything like that. Like it really tests your ability to play the game.
Yeah.
also make their return, and most of the time are really fun. In the vanilla version of DMC, you had to find color-coded keys to open specific secret mission doors,
hate
which
this.
really sucked by the
I
way.
did not
Or
hate
was
this.
that you found a hidden door?
No,
and you
no.
spent your
I
ass
hate
around
this
'cause you don't have-
statement.
Okay.
Wait,
What?
what's
That
she
there's
saying?
keys?
No color keys.
Play it back. Play like 10 seconds back.
affected with this type of boring automated set piece design. By the way, secret missions also make their return and most of the time are really fun. In the vanilla version of DMC, you had to find color-coded keys to open specific secret mission doors, which really sucked, by the way. Oh, what's that? You found a hidden door? Well, turn your ass around because you don't have a golden key.
What? Okay.
Why?
Okay,
Why
Jojo,
is
you
that a problem?
This is an issue that does not exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It encourages exploration of the level, right?
Yeah.
Which
Right.
Ninja Theory has carefully crafted for you. Why aren't you exploring the level?
I am not okay with what this. No, this. Okay, listen. I know most people don't like this, but I honestly feel like most people who say the color keys suck are the people who don't want to play Reboot. I'm being really honest about that because, like, I enjoyed looking for the keys actually because there were points where I'm just like, oh, I didn't know I can go here. Like, I feel like this argument is just very nitpicky because I honestly could say the same about another game where you have color keys and just like you have to get these color keys and you have to go back and find it to like this is very nitpicky. Honestly, this isn't a
Also,
very
It encourages replayability, which I agree with. You should be able to replay a game whenever you want and however long you want to.
yeah.
And by the way, DMC, I mean, the reboot has a fantastic mission over screen where you know what you've missed and you
Yes.
can
Yeah.
come back and find those keys that you missed, which the
Also-
other games don't have.
The item finder, hello? The thing that beeps when you're near something?
Yeah, this is like
It's-
this is a really scrubby,
Wait.
complaint.
Wait, I just fucking realized in okay. You guys play Devil May Cry 3. You remember those agisters?
The educators or whatever?
Yeah, you know what I just fucking realized? If you don't have the fucking proper weapon, you can't attack the fucking thing. That's the same
Yeah.
argument here.
I think it's more of a problem in DMC3 than people give it shit for.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the proper weapon, you are completely locked out of a blue orb.
Exactly. So like, what the fuck is this?
In Reboot, just find the key.
Ugh.
That is literally the problem, and it's the easiest fix. You have something that beeps when you're near a collectible.
This
So
doesn't
whether
feel-
it be, and
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
when it comes to Lost Souls are literally screaming. If you
Yeah.
can't hear it, that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally scream out like, "Try, kill me, please."
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious,
Yeah, go on.
Definitive Edition, this was fixed. One type of key for all doors. Thank Sparta. With all of that said, I do really like the level design in this game. There's a lot to explore and a lot of collectibles to find in playthroughs, adding to the
contradicting
game's
statement again?
replayability and longevity. So that's DMC's gameplay. You can really tell the devs wanted to make this thing feel like Devil May Cry while also trying to make something completely new. The light of old DMC is faintly shining through the cracks, but not completely there. Believe it or not, but this game is doing some interesting things. I think this game is the only hack and slash title that achieves accessible, stylish combat without feeling the need to dumb down literally everything about its core design. Like air combos being super viable in combat and a focus the devs wanted to experiment
Another
with is really cool to see.
contradicting
It's a shame the release version is as weirdly jank in a lot of areas as it is, but at least the definitive edition makes up for it in a lot of areas. A lot of people love to say there's nothing good about this game, and clearly that isn't true. It's a competently made, polished action game. Even if you hate everything about Ninja Theory, you still have to recognize that, like, Hideaki Itsuno helped make this game. It's clear that his design philosophy can be felt in this reboot. The way Dante attacks with slow, built-up animations that pay off in a big impact, and how certain enemies were designed, it's there for sure. Is it as good
Another
or memorable as some of the
contradicting statement?
previous DMC games? I personally don't think so, but the
Wait, go back 10 seconds before we go to the point. I didn't hear the last part. Splinter?
game,
Oh,
you
okay,
still have to
okay.
recognize that, like, Hideaki Itsuno helped make this
Thank
game.
you,
It's
Desiree.
clear that his design philosophy can be felt in this reboot. The way Dante attacks with slow, built-up animations that pay off in a big impact, and how certain enemies were designed, it's there for sure. Is it as good or memorable as some of the previous DMC games? I personally don't think so, but the game...
No.
It's
Okay,
kinda
no.
all easy,
That's
right?
that's
This is a-
subjective. That's subjective.
Yeah.
That's very subjective. Okay. Sorry. I need to be an asshole, and then I'll let you guys talk. Okay, that's okay. You can't. That's very unfair to say because Dante. Okay. I'll take an example. You guys know Beowulf, Gilgamesh, and Beowulf.
god.
No. DMC5. What's his name? This weapon.
Balrog.
Yeah. Okay. You can't. That's a very unfair statement because lock on forward O where you charge it, right?
Mhm.
That was the same move in 3 games. This franchise only had 1 game. That's unfair to say, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, the game didn't have chance to thrive because we never gave it the chance as a community.
Yeah,
Right.
Anything? Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Johto, what were you saying about the contradictions? Because you've mentioned it.
So she states that it has like big payoff on moves, but she doesn't like the payoff on the red and blue enemies. So what's going on there? That's She likes the payoff on the moves, but she doesn't like it on specific enemies.
Yeah.
It's
And red and
inconsistent.
blue enemies. So I mean, maybe I'm not understanding what she means by that.
It's very unclear. She tries to like clarify towards the end, but at that point, it's a bit too late.
Yeah.
It's a reboot. It's not a continuation of those original Devil May Cry games. It's nowhere near DMC 2 levels of crap design, and it sure as hell blew its action game contemporaries out of the water in terms of delivering a satisfying, deep gameplay experience. So now that we've got the actual game part of DMC out of the way, let's talk about the absolutely bizarre story this game is telling.
All right.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Oh
okay,
boy.
Oh, okay.
Just overall as like a gameplay segment, whatever analysis thing, that was kind of shit.
Yeah, that
I
describes it pretty
agree. You put it bluntly, and I agree.
Yeah, I just have no words. It's as bad as Foxcade or whoever.
She didn't do much research in the gameplay systems, as you can tell.
Yeah, I feel like she just scratched the surface of what this game has to offer. She just scratched the surface and then said, "Well, that's kind of it. That's how far this pool goes." Even though it can go deeper.
Yeah.
I feel like she didn't talk about the overall combat in like the greater scheme of things with all these things added up, right? She talked about
she didn't talk about it altogether.
Yeah, she talked
If
about
s-
it in a very
if
minor
some-
sense.
If somebody made like a video of this quality about DMC5, they would be crucified.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it would have been
They
paid to the
would be
nails.
crucified.
Yeah, they would have gotten like, oh my god, look, you can't believe it. It's
DMC5,
just like
DMC3, DMC4. If anybody made a quality of this, oh my god,
Yeah,
It would have been a
they
4chan
would
moment.
they would never use the internet again.
right.
But with the reboot,
Their name,
you just say
their name would
whatever.
be all over the DMC community and like a wanted poster, which will probably happen to us after we make this after the
Yeah.
stream.
Personally, I don't care. I'm happy to leave this community.
Damn.
I need to say that this is a very unfair and biased and nostalgic colored glasses like Dojo said. This is that type of review. Like, okay, I like DMC3, I really do, but like this isn't a fair statement because you could say this, yeah, it's like you guys said, you can say this type of thing towards DMC3 too, DMC4 and DMC5 because like it's just this is so unfair. Like this is all subjective. This is based on your
I was gonna say that most of these points are very subjective. Were you here for the rainstorm part?
No, what did she say? Did she hate it?
Yeah, she didn't like the way the rainstorm looked, and to that I said, I don't like the way the rainstorm looks in the mainline series. It has always looked kind of strange to me, which is subjective, and her opinion was also subjective.
I bet you $5 she doesn't know that your attack moves become faster as your rank goes up. So your rainstorm could actually be appealing at a higher, like when you have SSS. So yeah,
I don't know, man. It's very strange review.
it's an unfair review. I'm just gonna be dead honest about that. It's not. It's just unfair. I don't think it's a validated review. Yeah. Why is that so quiet?
I mean, that's when it was gonna play it.
Oh yeah.
Is he taking a break?
No, hold on. Sorry, I'm here.
Okay.
I just took my headphones off for a second. Do you guys want a break? And instead, we'll get back to this in like 5 minutes. Does that sound
No,
good?
I can keep going unless you
I
guys
can
want to break.
keep going as well. I'm not busy.
Same here.
Okay, wow. We're very passionate people. Okay.
Yeah.
In this version of Devil May Cry, we play as Dante, a half-demon angel Nephilim who's slumming it big time, living out of a trailer at a theme park. This game quickly shows us how cool Dante is by showing him partying, he's drinking beers, he's smoking,
Going to the club, living it up, fucking bitches.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying. At the same time, we see our main villain, Mundus, the King of Hell, in his human world form. He's a big businessman who has the US president and likely every earthly corporation on his payroll. Dante wakes up one morning to a girl named Kat knocking at his door with a warning of demonic danger heading his way. Just as Kat shows up, so do the demons. Dante is dragged into Limbo, and after killing the archdemon that trapped him there, Kat brings him to her safe house, which happens to be the Order's HQ, an underground demon fighting
This
resistance
is
group run
wrong.
by a man named.
What about it is wrong?
Her safe house, which also happens to be the
Yeah,
order.
yeah.
That is not true. That is just the order. She doesn't
Yeah.
have a safe house.
Mhm.
Right.
Virgil. Dante and Virgil are brothers, and after a quick visit to their condemned family home, Dante learns more about his mother and father, how Mundus killed his mother and enslaved his father to eternal CBT in Limbo's most popular BDSM club. No matter how many times I re-record this line, I can't get through it.
She kind of missed the point that they're reuniting, and it's like a really emotional moment for both the brothers, because it's like very important to the plot that they are forming this connection, and it has like a big implication for the ending.
There's yeah.
So she completely missed that.
It's like a setup and payoff type scenario, right? We set up the brothers' relationship right off the bat, only to God damn it.
Also, one thing I would like to point out. She will say something about Mundus that I want you to take into account with these words. She has not mentioned Phineas yet.
Okay.
Really?
No, there has been no mention of Phineas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, do you remember having a discussion about it?
No.
Nope.
No.
27 minutes in, we're almost done with the review. No mention of Phineas.
I feel like we're really, even though this is like a 38-minute, I feel like we're barely scratching the surface in terms of like the overall stuff. And by the way, guys, I really dislike this joke against Sparta. The dude banged an angel. You know, he wanted 2 kids.
Yeah.
He just wanted a life alone from isolation from his brother. Then all of a sudden, his wife gets murdered and her heart getting eaten out, and then he's put into an eternal doom. That's kind of messed up, don't you think about it? And then just saying BDSM. It's like, I don't know. I think that's kind of messed up.
There's something. Oh
yeah, I think that's a morals thing that shouldn't relate to DMC. I think that's just like, why would you joke about someone's pain? But if we're not therapists, so.
Yeah, but did we know that Sparta's soul goes through Dante and Virgil? Come on. Okay, you gotta get with it.
After remembering this, Dante agrees to join Virgil and Kat in their quest to expose key members of Mundus's organization and killing them in the hopes to free the world from demon control. I don't like the story or the characters in this game. I think it's all pretty basic. A lot of it feels like missed opportunities to actually tell some interesting real-world stories through the lens of Devil May Cry. A lot of what happens is also pretty cringeworthy.
This is literally what is happening in our world right now. There are evil politicians controlling each other through debt and just in general. And she says it's very bland and it's uninspired, I think, is what she said. I don't know if that's true.
And
it's
like, I mean, she completely, she didn't even mention that they meet for the first time, and these are 2 brothers who are lost to each other. There's nothing. She's just like omitting the good stuff and like just pretending that they don't exist. So I don't know.
Wait till she talks about Virgil as a character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Does it get worse from here?
I would say so.
Is she gonna even mention Dante's arc?
I don't think so. I don't think she mentions that.
Oh, you guys are gonna mention that? Oh, because I was gonna make that point later on.
Oh wait, because remember all the stuff I wrote up in Off Topic, the channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I reread some of that, I will probably get an idea of what I was thinking at the time. But yeah, I don't think it gets better from here, dude.
All right.
The characters are unlikable. There isn't a single person in this story that I identified with or really cared about. And now that a lot of time has passed since this game's release, I think a lot of what happens in the
Okay. So I wanna mention something real quick. There is an inherent thing that people keep bringing up about Dante that I really, really hate. You guys don't see it right now, but I have something stacked on my wall. This comes from the writer of The Last Avatar. Essentially, characters should be dimensional, fascinating, believable, and compelling. False goods, likable, relatable, and sympathetic. Note that these things are okay on their own, but note they can damage the story overall. That's what I'm saying. We suffer from, instead of saying, hey, let's make a dimensional character, they just say, oh, he isn't likable. Even though there's a lot of dimensions to Dante, especially him having an arc. Very similar to the same arc he had in DmC 3, just with a little bit more meat to it, you know? So I don't think that like all of a sudden, oh, he's unlikable. It's like unlikable does not equal a bad character, right?
Also, that is subjective, like you kind of mentioned. It's just because you didn't like it doesn't mean he's a bad character.
I need to. Okay, wait. Can I say something about Dante's character? Because I think I need to say this now rather than later.
Go ahead.
Okay, so She said that like the characters aren't likable or they're relatable or that you can identify. Okay, now likable, that's subjective. Okay, that's her point. Okay, I disagree with um, being able to identify. I honestly feel like a lot of people have been to a point where they don't trust anybody or where like they're in a really hurting place. Dante, the reboot of Dante's personality in the very beginning is very realistic because I've read about him before. How like I don't know if they were gonna bring this up in the game, but it talked about how like Dante, as he was growing up as a kid, he was betrayed a lot from people who he thought were trustworthy, but turned out to be
Oh
demons.
wait, no, this was in the game. It was mission 3.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is, like, that type of personality is very realistic, and even though like reboot Dante may come across negative for some people, and I don't really identify with him that much. I do honestly find it relatable because if you look into is it the start of mission 3? I think yeah, how like he says he's giving Virgil crap like who are you again? Yeah, like it makes sense. Very realistic. Imagine if you were taken to some terrorist organization and like somebody is like acting the way Virgil is towards you. It's like who are you? You know what I mean? It's realistic.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Someone that claims to know like everything about you
Yeah,
and is kind of like hinting that they are related in some way.
yeah. I
It's
just
it's a strange situation to be in. And it's not an everyday thing either where you like, oh, twin finds long lost brother or anything like that, you know?
I don't like the fact how she doesn't like the game because she doesn't like it. Because the thing is, like, usually in professional reviews, you don't like, sorry, you say this concept isn't okay for what it is rather than what it is to you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
You,
it's just
you
like,
can't be subjective in a review, basically.
exactly. Like, this isn't very objective. Like, I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Story
What
hasn't
are you-
aged too well either. Like, seriously, every female character in this game is called a whore in one way or another. I'm not an anti-cursing Puritan by any means, because I personally love swearing like a
Okay.
sailor, but the foul language in this game comes off as very try-hard.
Other video.
Scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is
Here
okay.
we go
this is the thing.
again.
You guys know what's coming next.
Oh boy.
They swear a lot in DmC 5. You really can't bring up this point, okay?
Yeah. Everyone was okay with Nero saying fuck you because it was his dad, you
And
know?
But
And
you
they
know-
like Nero and Virgil. They're very good characters. So I'm not gonna say anything about the next scene that's gonna happen, but I am gonna say this. DMC is very well known for its strong female characters.
Mhm.
That is all I have to
Mean-spirited
say.
in general. It's impressive
Okay.
how dated this game felt for its time. The humor feels like something out of an early 2000s edgy action movie, which often clashes with the darker aesthetic this game forgets it's going for most of the time. Reboot Dante is probably the most unlikable
What?
action game protagonist
Okay.
of all time. From scene 1 all the way to the end, he annoyed me. He's so mean to basically everyone at all times. His humor is the most
Pause
mixed bag I've ever seen. Sometimes the jokes hit.
Was he
Yeah.
mean to
Okay,
literally
okay.
everybody?
You guys can go first before I say what I say.
I want you to bring examples of where he was mean to literally everybody.
Okay.
Well, even then, most of them are justified. Like 90% of them are justified. Like,
Yeah.
he was being mean at first, to Kat and like certain other people, but and then he learned to grow out of it. It's almost like it's a part of an arc, guys. Can you
Yes.
believe that?
Also, the Virgil scene where he first talks to him is like, dude, Virgil was being very strange towards Dante, not gonna lie.
He's also manipulative. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, Dante, mostly what you get from him is interacting with demons and things he just doesn't like.
Yeah.
He thinks demons are scum the entire time through it until he meets Phineas, which she has yet to mention, by the way.
Mhm.
Hey, there's something I want to say. I don't. Okay. Who's this girl's name again? Was it what
She was
hunter?
the
Cat?
Spear Hunter.
Okay, I really don't think she's being fair to Ninja Theory towards like the interference with reduction because I believe during the backlash they had to sometimes force reboot Dante to sound like DMC3 Dante rather than to be himself, which is like that's you really cannot blame people for having to deal with that during production. It's like imagine if you were coloring red but then people didn't like it, and then like people wanted it to be blue. Like, could you imagine what would turn out? It's like that. That's why it's sometimes the game comes across as the way it is, and it's very disrespectful to just not give what's the word? It's like it's not respectful to Ninja Theory for having to go through what they went through during the time of this this video game production.
Yeah, the game wasn't even out yet, and they were already getting bad reviews and shit for it.
I know, man. It's just
So of course they had to change something going on, and
Yeah.
they tried to change it, and look what happened.
Yeah.
The worst of them is Dante. The whole world would benefit greatly by his non-existence.
I'm taking you off the air.
Most of the times they miss.
He's talking about a villain. What is he supposed to be like charming with them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What? Oh my god.
This joke completely goes over her head. Splinter, you good?
Splinter?
He probably wanted to do something.
Okay, there's something I want to. There's something else I want to say about this. It's like there's reasons why Dante is acting like an asshole. Because first of all, his mother is dead. His father's imprisoned. He was like, he was left on his own in an orphanage because of demons, because of Mundus, because of Barbarius. Why? I get why. Like, the point I'm trying to make is like not every he's treating the enemies like he wants to treat them for reasons, like.
It's also why Dante and DmC 3 and 4 and 5 are like the way they are.
Yeah. Okay, no,
By the way, guys, on a random note, I just realized this. She never mentioned the charge shot for the shotgun or Ebony and Ivory. Think about it.
I hate that. I love that move.
It's very unfortunate, and this review was honestly shoddily put together.
It's so unfair. It's so unfair. Like, it's just so like the entire review is summed up in this. Why is reboot not DmC 3? Why are you calling this the cursed reboot? This feels like the cursed review, honestly.
Yep.
Got him.
100%.
Yeah.
So Dante acts the way he acts in DmC 3 for a specific reason, is because he doesn't know what he is at the time.
And trauma.
Yeah, trauma, all that. He's literally alone. Lady and Trish are not there at the time in DmC 3 until the game happens, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's not likable. He don't quotes Shakespeare. So bad character.
Yeah, bad character.
Congratulations, you win.
And occasionally, a joke will miss so hard that it loops all the way back around and becomes a hit.
That's objective.
What in the shitting hell is going on here?
It's such a joke.
That's a joke, apparently.
That's a good line. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I agree. That's a fine line.
That's a good line. I think they were absolutely aware of the type of comedy that they were going for, because remember, Ninja Theory is a British studio, so they have a very dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's very different from the Japanese. The Japanese are very over the top with their humor.
Something I am going to nitpick is the world's biggest loser joke. That went entirely over her head.
Yeah.
There were literal video games based off of that joke. How did you not know of this and you're like 30 years old,
Hold on, I'll be back.
Okay. But the world's biggest loser joke is it's been on commercials. If you've seen TV, you know about the world's biggest loser. It's in media, it's in comedy, it's literally everything.
I don't like this. I really don't like this review. It's so unfair. It's like, could you imagine if somebody put like DmC 5 through that type of thing? It's so unfair, honestly.
I mean, dude, I can't wait till Susie responds to this.
Honestly,
She's not gonna respond, but I find it funny. Like,
she's not gonna respond, honestly.
And we're gonna get outed for this, by the way, because we're not simping. Well, I mean, I'm simping, not you guys.
I need to say this, and I don't know if it's being recorded. I don't like how the main DmC community just hates on reboot for the sake of hitting reboot. I'm being very serious when I say that, because like it's just like it's so fucking tiresome. It's like, imagine going to an art gallery, right? Like you see,
they only have one painting.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say, imagine somebody redesigned Mona Lisa, and they're just like, I don't like this because it's not the Mona Lisa. It's the exact same fucking argument. Like, it's not meant to be the fucking Mona Lisa. It's like Reboot Dante was meant to be its own thing. It's so unfair to just compare to it to DMC3 for why it isn't DMC3. Like, the game is meant to be its own thing. It's struggled to be its own thing because people didn't like it, and there's nothing wrong with people not liking it, but it's just like it's so.
Snow, you're getting kind of heated, my friend. And
I am. No, I'll cool down. No,
yeah, you gotta, because I don't want Susie to come after our necks, bro. We're gonna get canceled.
she can come after me. She can come after me. No, this isn't okay, especially as a review. You know, like
Yeah, I agree with that. The review itself shouldn't be super subjective,
yeah,
but the way she's coming off is not good.
it's not. This isn't okay. It's like you can't just bring somebody to a sushi shop and then for them to just and then for your friend to just hate sushi just because they think it's bad. It's okay to say you don't like the taste, but like to say it's just bad, it's just like I don't. No. That's not the way I want to say it. But like, you get the point I'm trying to get at. It's just
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's terrible.
yeah, and it's just like it doesn't mean that like you can't just paint the game with one broad stroke. No, it's fucking god.
There were a lot of things that went into why Reboot became Reboot,
Yeah,
and I agree the game does have issues,
yeah.
but the issues that she is stating are just not true sometimes.
I know it's.
Yeah, I think some things can be, like she can have certain opinions about certain things. That's cool. It's her review after all. But something, yeah, way too many like literal factual incorrections. And like the story stuff, like what she's mentioning right now, where she's paused in, like she hasn't mentioned anything in like the actual substance of the actual story. The brothers meeting, the arc of Dante. Dante is just an asshole. That's all she has to say. She's not saying anything else.
She doesn't
She's not
mention the Phineas
reasons.
missions.
Yeah, the Phineas stuff, like the character with like how it develops with Virgil, how it develops with Cat, with Phineas, etc., etc. Where is all that?
The
You're
thing
just
with
not.
Phineas that is very important to Dante's character is that Dante hates literally anything demon-like
Yeah,
until he meets
absolutely.
Phineas, which changes his perspective literally because Phineas tells him that he doesn't see like he does
Yeah,
to open his eyes and all that. You know, the whole like wise old man thing.
yeah, exactly. So
Sorry, guys,
she,
I'm back. I don't know. My house is going insane today. I don't know why. Do you guys want to get back to it?
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
I also want to say, could I use her arguments towards DMC1 and DMC2 Dante because they're not DMC3 and DMC4 and DMC5 Dante. Like those are two different sides of Dante. Yeah, so it's just like I don't know, whatever.
Drastic shift from what we know of the original Dante. It's like Capcom told NT to make this Dante the complete opposite in the personality department.
No
This Dante never seems like he's having fun with it.
Guys,
Snow,
wonder why.
I have to ask you to calm down.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll calm down. I promise I'll calm down. I'm sorry.
I understand where you're
The
coming
bosses
from.
in
It
this
is a
game either.
reboot.
He's just shitty to them. Well, I guess it kind of works because every boss is also so realistically shitty back to him, unlike the original games where bosses were very theatrically villainous. I said this at the start, but I really wish NT just followed through with how this Dante was first presented to us. A quiet, dark loner who...
Guys, I wonder why that is. Guys, I wonder why it is. Huh. Strange.
Also, Dante is literally fighting for his life the entire time through DMC.
Yep.
I think it's okay for you to crack sometimes and just outright say fuck you to some demons.
Yeah.
I would have done it. You would have done it. We all would have done it. Sphere certainly would have done it.
Yeah.
Then she would have used her devil trigger form and try and use her body. Anyway.
Okay. Wait, go on.
Yes, a dream of...
God damn it.
It works because every boss is also so realistically shitty back to him, unlike the original games where bosses were very theatrically villainous. I said this at the start, but I really wish NT just followed through with how this Dante was first presented to us. A quiet, dark loner who, yes, smokes cigarettes. I dream of a world where I can play a DmC Devil May Cry, where Dante is like a thoughtful, quiet person who opens up to Kat and Virgil as the game goes on, instead of just being an asshole the entire time. Can you imagine if like Kat and Virgil were like,
What?
hey, Dante?
He actually does that in the game. Oh my
Yeah, he
God.
does do that.
Yeah, that's
Oh
literally
my.
something. That's basically the story beats of the game in
Oh,
terms of.
wait,
characters.
I remember something now. Do you
Oh
know
my God.
she says later in the video that the way she plays DMC is by skipping all the cutscenes.
Oh, now it all makes
That
sense.
actually explains a lot.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Fuck.
And
She
why
saw
does
it
this
via
story
YouTube.
analysis section even exist?
Yeah. I don't get it, man.
She just downloaded the
Susie,
stuff off
what
YouTube.
the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, I agree, Snow, with that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? If you want to analyze the story, then please watch the story.
Maybe quit smoking. It's bad for you. And at the start, he doesn't listen, but as he grows into a real devil-hunting savior of humanity, he begins to smoke less and eventually quits. You know, a cute detail that would humanize this totally weird protagonist. Oh well, my dreams mean nothing.
Wait,
By the
does
way,
he
I
smoke in the
absolutely
game?
love the lead conceptual artist Ninja Theory often employs for their games, Telexi, but this painting really bothers me. Like, ew, stop, Dante, that's gross. Our leading
Okay, so the background behind
What?
this is that he was trying to find out whether or not he was a demon. Like, he didn't know what he was.
Yeah.
So he literally tested out, okay, a human shouldn't be able to, like, reach into their heart, right? So
Literally.
it was literally like him trying to like understand what he was. I know people say it's like edgy and whatever, but honestly, if I was half like half demon, half angel, and I didn't know it, and then all of a sudden I had some weird abilities, I would definitely test my durability. That would be one of the first things that I would do.
Like she
Also,
was praising the OG stuff to be like because it was very theatrical. This is very theatrical, like him poking his chest to see if he has a heart.
mhm.
This is actually
This
it's
has
very
been done in
dramatic.
media before, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. So
Among all of this, though, Dante does open up to Kat, and the way he opens up to her is very different from the beginning of the game to later. So in this
absolutely.
specific cutscene that's on frame right now, Dante is thinking to himself about ripping his own heart out, basically, and
And
he
he's sharing that.
says he doesn't say it actually. He says that he just knew in his heart that he wasn't crazy. And then later in the game, you see him being like more friendly and more open with her.
Mhm.
Because in the beginning of the game, here in this cutscene, it is a blatant lie that because he was thinking something else entirely.
Right.
He doesn't. Dante
Lady
doesn't
Cat
smoke in this game. What the fuck?
Yeah, I
But
don't
he
think he
doesn't.
smokes.
I want him to see you smoke a cigarette. Come on.
Yeah.
I want him to be an edgy boy. Come on.
Also, she acknowledges that Phineas is in the game, but does not mention him.
Yep, there he is. There he goes. Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, this is probably a cutscene she just skipped, because
She
Yeah.
just skipped, like she skipped all the cutscenes.
Yeah.
She suddenly skipped to the end. Wait, why does Dante have white hair now? This doesn't make sense. Bad story.
Why
0
is,
out of 10.
why is he stabbing Virgil, his brother?
Yeah, I thought they were good buddies. What?
often employs for their games, Telexi, but this painting really bothers me. Like, ew, stop, Dante, that's gross. Our leading lady, Kat, is also kinda lame. On paper, she seems like a character that I would really like. A depressed loner who escaped abuse by trapping herself in Limbo and eventually mastering how to travel between both worlds. Unfortunately, in the final game, she's
no, she
really
didn't.
boring, and it's hard for me to care
Wait,
about.
what?
She said that she mastered into going to Limbo. That's okay. You can correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
that is technically true, but I think the way she meant it is that she can see into Limbo.
Yeah.
I know it's stated in that mission that she
Yeah.
can't do it freely, like
Yeah.
at will or anything.
Yeah.
But then again, she skipped all the cutscenes.
You win this one, Jojo. I'll let you win this one.
Things she goes through. Even though her and Dante don't really get a lot of relationship progression throughout the story, they do work as a team, and a lot of
What
the time
the?
their
Okay,
interactions
no,
boil
that's
down
just
to,
fucking
"Whoa, you went
false. That false.
Yeah, that's blatantly false. They literally have a relationship, and then especially when she gets like shot in the hand and stuff, he shows that he actually cares. And in the further scene, he tries to save her because he really wants
Exactly.
to. So
Also,
exactly. This exact cutscene where she's talking about that they don't have a. This is where they. Oh my god! Watch the fucking cutscene, Susie. What the?
she
skips
she
them.
does
She doesn't
mention
matter.
the police officer scene where she gets shot, and she just glazes over it. Like, are you serious? That is such a
What?
monumental point in Dante's arc as a character.
That's
Am I
bizarre,
watching?
dude.
Through some crazy stuff as a kid. Whoa. And that's it. I think by the end we're supposed to believe that these two like each other
That
in a
is not-
romantic way,
oh my
but I just don't buy.
Wow. We literally have like a good chunk of this game dedicated to these two getting to know each other, like a lot of time and effort, and yet they and she just completely sidesteps it. That is like that's
Also,
completely dishonest and flat out lying.
Dante is very flirty with Kat.
Yes.
In the beginning of the game, like mission 2, where he goes to the Sparta house,
Yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
literally says to her, "I like it rough," and looks at her and smiles. Like, bro,
Yep.
what was that? That's not flirty.
Yep.
Yeah, it's never touched upon again, guys.
Yeah.
Especially when you skip all the cutscenes.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see some actual progression in a romantic direction. Have these two kids kiss or something. Make them relate with each other before Kat's stolen away by the demons. I guess that would require Dante to seem like he cares about anything, which he clearly doesn't. But he has to at the end. It all feels very flat and
This okay. This cutscene that she's talking over, this is where the progression happens. Are
Yeah.
you like what
She
the
is
fuck?
watching these cutscenes to put it in the video, but she is not listening to the cutscene.
Oh my god.
Okay.
She doesn't even mention it. Like, she barely mentions these scenes in particular. She'll put it there in editing, but she doesn't, like, mention it in terms of, like, this actual progression. We have a whole progression. That doesn't mean they need to kiss. We don't need some, like, teen vampire stuff, okay?
We don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need them to, like, necessarily kiss. They can still have a relationship. And then Dante, like, pow, grabs her by the buttocks at the end, okay?
Yeah.
It's clear that these two have grown together, especially when she's captured, and then he seems to care a whole lot. And then suddenly saying, oh no, he doesn't care at all. That's ridiculous, because the whole game's story is about him coming together, you know, with her and caring about people. Like,
Yeah. I would also like to add that at the end of the game, their feelings are very mutual, because the way that Kat holds his face after he stabs Virgil, and the way Kat intervenes in the fight, telling Dante not to kill her, and then she says, "For me," and it's like, bro, what does that mean to you?
Nah, it didn't exist.
They're not in a relationship or anything, you know.
Nah.
They're just they're friends.
Cutscenes are made to be skipped. You don't watch
Yes.
them. Come on.
Okay, and this exact frame where she takes off her hoodie, this is actually like if you're
It's
paying
metaphorical.
close
Yeah.
attention, she's actually opening up to Dante.
Mm-hmm.
Like before she does that, she actually like looks to the side as she's doubting herself, should I open up to him or not? She's not paying attention to the story at all. At all. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is worse than the gameplay section, for me at least. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
because
some
she
of
at
this is
least
just
talks about
factually
some
wrong.
of the things. At least she mentions like parts of the gameplay, but she doesn't even like. She pretends like certain cutscenes just don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a video where she's showing the parry and she says, "Oh, there's no parrying in this game." It's that bad. Oh my god.
I can't wait till you guys see the police scene where she gets shot. I can't wait to
Oh,
hear the
no.
uproar on that.
Oh no. Is she gonna say it's either? She's either gonna say it's like sexist, or she's gonna completely say we don't know anything about this character. That's fine.
I don't remember what she said specifically, but I know it pissed me off.
Oh no.
To me. It's been said before, but yeah, there's a lot of social political commentary going on in this game, with themes of the government controlling the masses, fighting back against that power, and taking down the man. I don't think any of this stuff is executed to the level it should be to make any of it interesting. Like, the Bill O'Reilly memes are right in your face and are fantastic, but there isn't enough street-level character to really flesh out the game's world. There's a level where...
Okay, guys, what does she mean by that?
I'm not quite sure what she's going for here.
They need a street level character to like balance out a bigger why though?
She has a fanfic in her head that's
Yeah,
not
she
in
just
the game.
she just wants like this game to be her fanfic, but then she realizes, oh wait, this is not my fanfic. And then she's like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense.
Dante isn't a street level character apparently. I don't know what she means by that, because the man literally grew up in poverty, in orphanage,
And on
didn't
the
have
streets.
parents,
Yep.
and his parents were killed right in front of him.
And he ran away from the orphanage and lived by
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, but he's not a street level character, guys.
Yeah.
You just need to skip the cutscenes to understand our point of view.
Yeah, we didn't watch the cutscenes correctly.
Yeah, we need to skip them. We need to press
Yeah.
a little button. It's hidden, but it stops the cutscene and it gives you a different cutscene. Maybe she's just watching a different game. You know.
Yeah.
Virgil's hideout is getting raided by a SWAT team in the real world while Dante's trapped in Limbo. There's a somewhat powerful
Here it is.
scene where Dante is frantically telling Kat what to do to not come off like she's resisting arrest. I like the idea of this scene a lot, but if you look a bit deeper, it's just a whole lot of wasted potential. I wish there was more of this type of police drama throughout the story. We don't even get a name for the city we're in or the police department that's doing this raid. An extra level that maybe showed off how the police operate in this demon-infested government would have helped make the surveillance state idea stand out even more. One of the best levels in this game sees Kat and Dante having to disable demon security cameras throughout a part of the city. I really like the small amount of relationship building here, but right after this chapter, a lot of the subject matter is never touched on again. I think there needed to be one more level where through gameplay, Kat and Dante explore a neighborhood under heavy police control. Maybe there could be 2 or 3 spots where high-ranked...
No, now she's just basically wants it to be police brutality, the game. It's basically... She is literally creating what she wants the game to be, and then because it didn't meet those standards, she's, like, creating... Like, she's not... Okay, so if you want to provide a solution to an issue, you first have to show the problem, right? But she skips over that. She skips over the part where that's actually a problem with the story, and she just goes straight into fanfic. Like, there's no connection between those two, you know?
There is no correlation.
There's no correlation. Error computer, you know?
Yeah. I also have a problem with what she said earlier in the video where Dante has no character development.
Yeah, that's just a lie.
Yeah.
I would like to make point of Dante smacking the can out of the man's hand.
Yeah, he's didn't in a
He
dick
didn't
way.
do it to be an asshole.
Yeah,
he literally said it'll kill you.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. And it gets him caught for it because he did something good, right?
Yeah, he tried to help someone on the street, essentially. But he did do it in his own way. I'm not going to say he was right in, like, smacking it out of his hand. Because, you know, like, he could give him a pamphlet or something on demonology, or, you know, whatever. But he did it in his own way, and he paid for it.
Right.
Yep. And he wouldn't have cared to do that before early in the story, but he's now.
Yeah, he would have just let him walk by if it was mission 1 Dante.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good screenshot, by the way.
Yeah, I love it. Aw, come on.
heavy police control. Maybe there could be 2 or 3 spots where high-ranking demons in human disguises patrol around. Kat and Dante would have to work together again to find out who these guys are and take them out, all while learning more about how the police system works in the
this
city
is the
and seeing how
mission
humans
she's
live under their
suggesting.
control.
Oh, okay, but why do we need to know that information? Because the game already gives us enough. It gives us enough in the Order episode of how the police work. Like there's
Also, the mission that she is suggesting is literally in the game technically. The 2 high-ranking demons she's talking about is the Succubus and Bob Barbas.
Oh yeah.
CCTV footage, all that stuff that's going on, that is literally the cameras, that she wants to be made point of. And by killing Bob Barbas, we killed the monitoring. And I don't think that that killing Bob Barbas necessarily stops all of the cameras from working, but it kind of implies the fact that the problem has been solved. And it's all in the grand scheme to kill Mundus.
Yeah.
I just really find it super annoying.
The Raptor News Network, that's the surveillance
system.
What do you call it? The system, right? And he's the head. And once he's dead, it's kind of taken care of. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I still don't get, like, this reminds me of, like, how do I say that? The Ralph the Movie Maker made a terrible video on Joker, and he said something of the same merit to, like, the black girl and, like, the therapist, and she's like, well, there's not enough development for this therapist character. And it's like, well, we don't need that. We don't need the police to be necessarily explained. We get enough from the story. We know how it operates. They're basically under control of the demons. That's all it needs. We don't need more backstory. I mean, more backstory can be nice, I guess, but it's not necessary.
Also, the fact you get an insight on the police's behavior during the mission where they're raiding the compound. Because I remember one specific line is they want these terrorists dead or alive.
Dead.
So that means dead is what they say. So they're kind of like depicted as demons, but not quite. And during this mission, you also see police not even saying like police get down, they're literally executing people.
Yeah, they literally go into where like multiple people are, where they round them up and then they start shooting them. Like that's your development right there, the order mission. You just had it, but I guess she just forgot about that. She was like, "Nah, that's too hard. I have to skip this cutscene. Too bad."
I wanted more of that type of stuff, and maybe it would have been a great opportunity to develop Kat and Dante. Like this lonely human is seeing this otherworldly Nephilim fighting the power on street level, showing that he actually cares about normal humans. By far, my least favorite thing about
he
this
does.
game is Virgil. He's an
Yeah,
character
this
that I
is
think
kind of like the point of the whole game. Is
Yeah.
that
Also, I want to point out something in that last cutscene she showed where Kat is drawing on the thing.
yeah,
Body language is very important in video games.
right?
You see how
Especially-
Virgil is standing compared to Dante, who is crouched down next to Kat. Kat has been shot, she's been tortured, and she needs some sort of reassurance. And that reassurance is Dante in that scene. Dante is stooping to her eye level and like comforting her through his body language.
Nah, dude, nah. They didn't talk about the police enough.
Yeah. Yeah, my bad. I mean, I could also be wrong because Ninja Theory could have not cared about the body language, but
Yeah, it's not like they did motion capture for the actors and all.
yeah,
Yeah.
think is supposed to represent the angel side of the Nephilim dichotomy, where Dante represents the wild at heart, dirty demon aesthetic. Virgil represents the prim, proper, stuck-up, dipshit angel side. I get that it's fun to flip those characters on their head, like, oh, the devil was the good guy the whole time, but neither of these fools are likable, so it's difficult to relate to their goals. Virgil is.
remember,
boy,
I went on a
likable
huge rant
argument
about
again.
this.
I want to hear your rant.
So basically, you're supposed to take them at face value. These twins are literally color coded. Dante he's wearing a red coat essentially. Virgil is a blue coat. Virgil, at face value, he is a very like respectable, honorable man, which is like kind of angelic in this universe. But Dante is seen as the wild side, like the other side of the coin, where he's very vulgar, sexual, like that's what we get from his missions and all that. But as she said, that gets flipped on its head, and Dante is actually the angelic of the two, while Virgil is more brutal and demonic in nature, considering what we know towards the end of the game. But she said she didn't care about that, basically.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she
her
just didn't care
argument
about the
she-
story.
She just went, so dichotomy, lol, you're wrong, don't care.
Yeah,
Dab.
character development doesn't work.
Skipped it. Too
It
bad.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Character development just doesn't exist in this game.
I mean, I'm getting kind of heated too because I honestly love these two characters. They're very good.
Not,
So,
not likable. In my
Not
opinion, of
likable.
course.
So lame. When he's not talking down to everyone in a condescending way, he's either bitching or ruining his own plans. Halfway through the story, when Kat is kidnapped by Mundus, Virgil and Dante come up with a plan to steal Mundus's mistress, Lilith, who's currently carrying his child. An exchange takes place for both women, where Virgil absolutely annihilates Lilith, killing her and her unborn child. Talk about a 45 caliber abortion. Who writes this shit? What strong female characters we have here.
You!
Not like that pesky lady or
Yep. That was fucking
Dude,
lame.
everybody misunderstands the scene. He did it on purpose to anger Mundus. That was the whole point. He did it because he knew it would anger him. And he didn't really care about Kat. So we learned two things about his character. One, we learned that he is uncaring and he'll do anything to try and win. And two, we know that he will sacrifice anything, even if it's the lives of his own people. These tell very, very good things about the character. But nobody talks about that. They just go, it's sniper rifle abortion. Lol.
yeah, Virgil doesn't use guns.
He didn't use guns.
And Virgil does use guns. He does.
Yeah, in DmC 3.
Yeah.
He literally shot Arkham.
Yeah.
One of
Jackpot.
my pet peeves with this scene and how she dissected it was literally what Splinter said is that Virgil's willing to do anything to win. That is kind of foreshadowing towards the end of the game where Virgil is actually like evil,
Yeah.
um, alongside the Phineas cutscenes where he says, "If you kill Mundus, who will take his place?" And Dante is confused at first, but towards the end of the game, he understands what Phineas says.
Right. It's like the structure of the reboot is very clear, right? It's super clear in its setups. Here's setup, here's payoff, right? Here's setup that somebody will take his place. That's a payoff where Virgil becomes it. There's the sniper rifle abortion scene, essentially just like it foreshadows Virgil's events, them getting angry because Virgil doesn't want to sacrifice Cat. So that's again another character. Like these are telling us very simple things about our characters that will be paid off at a later point. Yet for some reason they love to ignore these things. It's really frustrating.
Yes.
It's like they skip the cutscenes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would do that? That would be bizarre. Certainly not her.
After this, you don't trust Virgil anymore, right? Lilith and her baby are villains, yes, but what Virgil did is pretty messed up, right, guys? God, look at Virgil's car. There's a giant V on the grill. Oh my god.
No, that's not the
point. Present to you the
I would like to point out.
Is she parodying him herself? I don't get like.
I would like to point out that this serves no purpose in the script.
Yeah, the Virgil Mobile has no point in terms of like overall storytelling, so I don't know why she's bringing this up.
It's just a subreddit meme that I assume she saw and thought was funny.
Yeah, she's.
I don't understand, honestly.
I think she's. I think she's criticizing how she thinks the game is perceived by others, but like it's not being. Oh my fucking god! That's not the point. The car is not the fucking point. Oh my fucking god!
Not only that, but the setting matters in the story, and realistically, if Dante and Virgil grew up in our world, they would know how to drive. So I don't know where she's coming from this, you know?
Virgil Mobile, go vroom.
They're not trying to make Virgil look cool. The vehicle has nothing to do with it. What the fuck?
Oh, so it's not even Virgil's car. Cat is seen driving it mostly.
Oh my god.
She trying to say something about women drivers, huh? Gotcha,
if anything, Virgil fucking crashed this thing.
Exactly.
Look at how he's driving. What the hell are you doing, Virgil?
Virgil Mobile. After you defeat Mundus, Virgil has a pretty sudden villain transformation, wanting to rule over and control the surviving humans. Dante stops him in an incredibly easy boss fight. Like, I don't know if NT was trying to make
Stop.
Pause it. Just before we get even deeper into this whole can of worms, she said sudden villainous change.
Yeah,
it was not sudden.
Yeah.
It was heavily implied that someone would take Mundus's place. And judging from other games that we've played that also have the handle Devil May Cry, Virgil is most likely the villain.
Yeah, people knew that right off the gate. I don't understand why it was like all of a sudden like, oh, it's so sudden. No, it's really not. This has been foreshadowed and like showed multiple times, especially like elements of his character, which everybody bitches about the sniper rifle abortion scene, but that actually sets up his character for future, and then people ignore that scene.
Not only that, but let's separate this from the game. There's a DLC called Virgil's Downfall.
Yep.
Does that sound like Virgil's upbringing or like Virgil's uplifting news? No. What the hell, man?
I need to say this. I don't like how people give reboot shit for being easy. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Like, if you're good at playing the game, that's fine. But like, I'm willing to bet $5, 10, 20, whatever. That like, most people who bitch about reboot being easy have not touched DMD.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, they just play normal and just be like, it's fucking easy. Okay, fine. Did you play the entire game though?
Dude,
like,
did you play GMD? GMD is literally the hardest difficulty that has ever existed in a Devil May Cry game. I will fight everybody on that. It is so incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it's not like you have Eric's to charge up and do like billions of damage.
Yeah.
intimidating, but when I'm juggling him in the air and the camera awkwardly follows his lifeless body getting flung around, I just can't help but think he's kind of lame. Like, seriously, what is going on here? Was the intention to make Virgil look as weak as possible?
Yeah. Okay, DMC. Wait. DMC 5 Virgil is easier to juggle than this guy.
Yeah, exactly. You can juggle him way more in DMC 5, but then all of a sudden, does that mean like all of the narrative?
Oh no, but we cannot like. DMC. The reboot must be shit. So yeah. You can just say whatever.
Good argument.
I realize we're all kind of giving a shit right now. But
it's like so bad. This video is so bad.
yeah, it
Fair.
kind of. This is Susie's downfall DLC. The video was kind of good towards the middle and beginning, but like not really. But now it's just terrible.
Oh wait, is this the Flash Netflix series? Is that what's going on? Season 1 good, season 2 bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the topic of Virgil,
Yeah.
this motherfucker is not weak. He was never depicted as weak. Okay, so if we have anything to go by from previous missions, Virgil, his body language is that of a powerful man. There's no doubt about it.
he's a
He's
leader.
constantly standing up. He has Yamato out the entire time in his cutscene.
And he's the leader of the organization.
Yeah. If that doesn't depict someone powerful, then I don't know what is. Also, in combat, we have seen Virgil is able to fuck up Mundus.
Mhm.
You realize those summon swords that he threw at Mundus staggered him?
Yep.
Dante had
and
to
fought
pop
him.
DT to stagger Mundus.
Right. In the
And
game, he
and he had to
literally
like
fought
have his
Mundus
like
hand-to-hand.
crazy white hair DT to like actually defeat Virgil.
Yeah.
Right.
The camera. Sorry, go on.
Virgil isn't depicted as weak. You just fail to see it.
True.
The camera. Go on.
You can go.
Okay, I was gonna say no. The camera makes sense. Like, no, it makes sense because like okay. I don't have like a degree in like media arts or like film, but like I felt like when you hit Virgil and like you see the cinematic cutscene where he's recovering, I feel like that was done really well to tense up this the final battle. Yeah, that's just what I want to say.
Oh, I agree with that because he recovers very quickly.
Yeah.
You knock him down, but he just keeps getting back up very fast.
Yeah.
And also, it looks like Dante has no control over the little cutscene that plays when Virgil's teleporting around him. He's missing entirely, and Virgil flattens him out against the wall.
Right.
But he weak though.
Yes, he is.
He weak, baby.
Because that's how he comes off. It would have been so easy making this guy more intimidating. I can totally see it. Check out some of this awesome fan art. Virgil looks so
There's
cool.
fucking
I wish he did
there's
in the actual
lightning
game.
in the
So anyway,
background.
you
Yeah,
beat
he's
Virgil. He runs away through a portal. Cat literally says to Dante and us that this Dante is the Dante. Dante touches her bottom, and then we get a social media hashtag. Okay. Oh, by the way, Dante finally has white hair. Look, I was right. This game was a build-up to the white hair. There is a Virgil DLC, but honestly, there isn't much to talk about with it. It explores this
What?
very
Isn't
weak
much to talk
Virgil's
about.
mental state.
Wait, but this is
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
one of the
this-
best Virgils.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to talk about though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk. Dude, that would be if she was covering DMC3 Virgil. Okay.
It's not
Just
like
saying.
it's not like he becomes the new Demon King.
Mhm.
That
no,
doesn't happen.
No, he doesn't like go on a like sense
It's not
of
like
discovery.
he kills his own mother.
Yeah, it's not like he like
That
regained
doesn't-
power or anything like that. No.
Yeah.
No. You don't get it. Just no, okay? Stop it.
There's so many issues with this video, and it's not even over yet.
We still got like 2 minutes left. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring this to a close. Good God.
Out of hell itself, eventually becoming corrupt and in command of a demon army. It's trying to set up a sequel to this game, but that never happened, obviously. DMC Devil May Cry's story is the real problem for me. Whenever I replay this game, I always skip every cutscene. I play the game as Neo Dante, which I personally think should have been his default costume, and seemingly forget about how terrible the narrative and characters are. When people complain about this game and trash it for being a quote-unquote the worst game ever made, I don't think anyone besides hardcore players are thinking about the gameplay. In retrospect, this title is so needlessly edgy and upsetting in a lot of ways through its story. If not for this very strange narrative, I would say based on the combat alone, DMC Devil May Cry could have potentially been an all-time classic. Unfortunately, the story really brings down the overall experience. Like, did you notice how I barely mentioned Mundus? He hates women, he hates Dante, he has bald hair, and is an evil businessman. That's all of his character. This is the
He
point
has
of the game,
bald
people.
No,
it's really
Bald hair.
no, this is actually false. This is false. Literally, when we confront Dante, or confront Mundus with Dante, he literally outlines his plan of saying, hey, if I let everybody free, then that means it would be complete and utter anarchy. Everything would go to like waste. Everything would be terrible. So I'm doing this for the sake of humanity. Even though his underlying thought is like he wants power. This is much deeper than just bald guy. You know, there's more to it. Than
But he has bald
Not-
hair.
Okay, I ripped into her for that on off topic the channel, and oh my god, dude, fucking, I feel like she didn't read her script, bro. Not only that, but Mundus literally gives you an example. He's like, before he came, it was they murdered each other. You know, the humans. They starved. They killed. They all kinds of shit went down, and then he came, and in his eyes, he brought order.
Right.
If that's not like stereotypical villain, which isn't bad, stereotypical villain's pretty cool. But if that's not like a deep character somewhat to you, then you are very bland.
Yeah, and has she played DmC 1 where you have Mundus in that? He's just a guy sitting on a chair.
He just wants land. Yay. That's like all my DmC villains. They either want to take over the world or they just want land.
Oh my god.
Difficult to just reboot an iconic franchise like this, let alone make something that feels so out of the realm of what made that franchise great in the first place. I believe Ninja Theory had good intentions with this game at the start. It's very obvious if you look at the mountain of concept art contained within this game that this thing was supposed to be something a little more in line with what we were familiar with. It's well documented.
Notice how the video is coming to a close, right?
Uh-oh.
She has not said anything about Phineas.
Oh my god.
A very monumental character in Dante's arc. Yet there is no mention of Phineas in this entire video so far.
She didn't even mention the main antagonist, my guy. She didn't even mention like Bob Barbas in the broader scheme of things, or like how that plays in. She was too busy talking about, oh my god, I want the police to be explored more. It's like what, you haven't even explored anything that's actually in the game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she also didn't like the key system, which I feel like really reflects on her as a person.
Yeah.
Oh my
Reflects on her as a person. Good god.
Fucking
You mentioned that Capcom HQ played a big part in the change of direction. Ninja Theory are a great developer that makes awesome games, both before and after DMC. I mean, Hellblade is fantastic. Heavenly Sword is a classic. DMC Devil May Cry feels like what happens if you take a very focused team of people and make them create something that isn't really in their wheelhouse. Like, it's so shocking to me that all of their other games,
in their
and I mean all of their
wheelhouse.
games, have amazing stories. Like, what happened here? It's funny looking back at the comments
Oh!
on the original announcement trailer.
No, pause it. What do you think happened? What do you think happened? Sorry. God, it's like listening to like a 16-year-old kid just complaining on Christmas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, that means everybody wants him. A comment with 4 upvotes, 3 upvotes, and none say that they like the emo version of Dante. Dude, that means the whole community wants it. Come on, you guys.
Yeah. I feel like the like system on YouTube is kind of important in terms of what people think, because people usually like the comments that are in tune with what they sing, basically. So why display comments with 3 or 4 likes?
Yeah, when I try and like bring up an argument or like something that I think has value, like for my Batman Arkham Origins video, I found like a ton of like videos with that were defending the game with like a ton of views, right? And then I point to that and say, hey, there's actually a good majority of people. I didn't point to it like a few comments. I like did that once at the end of like a few tweet posts, but that was it. I didn't even like mention it or say that was the broader scheme of things. I said it was a broader scheme of things when I actually saw people that had like thousands and thousands of views on the game. But yeah, sure.
This review is so fucking shallow, it pisses me off. Like, why do you think the story is, or why do you think the game became the way it is? Like, anyways, yeah, go on.
Same feelings I had when I first saw that video back in 2010. Man, this trailer doesn't feel anything like the game we got. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with this video. DMC Devil May Cry is not the worst thing ever, like a lot of people say. I don't hate this game, but I certainly don't like it all that much either. I do think it's worth playing if you are into hack and slash games. Ninja Theory is a game developer that I have a lot of respect for. Their games are great, and they've grown a lot for the better since this title's release. I look at the DMC reboot as a cautionary tale of what not to do when rebooting an already beloved franchise. It's hard to look back at this title and feel angry or sad. We all got what we wanted at the end of the day. So maybe check this thing out again, and see if you're as pissed off as you were back when this game came out. Since day one, this reboot is truly cursed. And with that said, that's where I'll close the book on this chapter of Devil May Cry.
Oh, you're stupid, Susie.
Just go fuck yourself. No, fuck this girl. Just fuck. No, this is.
It was by somebody else. She didn't even like it.
Oh my god, dude.
Okay, you are not stupid, Susie, but this video is stupid.
Splinter the dislike. Hey, I still need your number though.
Yeah. I'm so fucking Christ, man.
What do the comments say?
Wow, 19K. I wonder why. Fucking Christ. I hate this DmC community so much. Don't put that in the video.
I will.
Yeah.
No, I really do hate it. This is fucking Christ, my God. Why is this? Why are we such an embarrassment? I'm so disappointed. No. I'm not actually that pissed. I'm just like annoyed. I'm just like, God damn it.
Oh, but DMC 5 is an amazing game with no faults.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm so disappointed.
Ah. I'm quite disappointed. Idle.
Let me see this. I'm so disappointed.
So guys, what'd you think? I'm just gonna play this in the background on the stream, but what'd you think of the video, guys? Aren't you happy you saw it?
I'm quite disappointed in Susie as a person. I would still like her number though. And
No,
no.
I can't. No,
to
Jojo, no,
re-educate her.
Yeah, no.
For re-education.
Yeah, I feel like, I swear, like most of these YouTubers can be reasoned with if you just had like a normal talk with them, you know.
I know. Okay. Hold on. No. I'm pissed. No, I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this in like in a not that angry of a tone. This is why I can't stand it, the fucking DmC community. It's a bunch of people who are identifying with their skills in the game, and just are unable to have a civil conversation with. This is like, it's like no one can be neutral about anything. No one can be like objective about faults, or it pisses me off so much. It's like all this fucking bitch did was.
Whoa.
No, I'm saying this. No, all this fucking bitch did was make a shallow review based on shallow sources, and just like it's so like, and then like everybody likes it because haha reboot sucks, and it pisses me off. And it's like we're stroking and like they're stroking each other's dicks because reboot fans should not exist. I'm just so fucking pissed off. It is so unfair, and it is so repulsive to me that such humans can exist, because this isn't okay. This isn't taking into account the struggles Ninja Theory went through. Like, aside from if they started the fight or fans started the fight, this isn't very respectful to the issues faced when in production. It's so like, haha, I wanted a cake. Oh, look, it's not the cake I want. Fuck you. It's just, I've never met a fan base so fucking what's the word? Spoiled? Is that it? No. There's another word. It's like it starts with G. It's like there is take things for granted. It's just like.
Splinter, are you watching one of your own videos on stream?
Shut up. Okay, it's promotion.
Oh my God. I just.
Not gonna lie, this game looks pretty cool. It's a Batman game.
Yeah, I did a whole review on it. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. I made this way back in 2019, but I released it recently. It's a really great video. It's about a Mino Ilker mess. A lot of people really liked it. Hooray. Anyway, speaking of toxic communities, so essentially I talked with James earlier today before getting on, and about like life and whatever. But we came across DmC again in the topic, and he says, like, out of all the communities he's interacted, with, he says the DmC community is literally the worst.
It is the worst.
Same. I agree.
Okay, I need to say something. I'm going to share something, okay? And don't put this on the video, but I'll share this to you guys, okay? Splinter, you remember my DmC video for OCW, right? You commented on it previously in the what's it called? Savage Combo Mads, right?
I think so, yeah.
You don't know this, but when I was trying to get better in DmC 3, people wouldn't answer my questions about DmC 3. Like, I would ask something like, why is the Ubisoft version, why is that better than the HD collection? People didn't tell me, In fact, there's a person who's really into DMC3 that he wasn't okay that I was getting better at the game. And it pisses me off so much that like some of the DMC community is this insecure and is this unreasonable to deal with, and I am so fed up with it. That is why this is my only DMC server. That's why I am not an OCW, because I'm so fed up with dealing this type of behavior. It's like, I don't know, like this is why I'm not part of the main community. This is why I don't want to be part of the main community. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to back up with the same thing. Obviously, as Johto has said before, apparently I am very disliked amongst people, which
Well,
I have.
amongst certain people, not like people just don't like you, and
That's true.
I think
I don't
it's
like me
because
either,
people
Connor.
don't know how. Okay, fair enough. I think it's because people don't know how to get over themselves.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that man iced that motherfucker on
What?
stream. What the hell?
What?
That guy came in with a mask and shot that guy.
Yeah, that's a part of the. Oh my god, you're gonna get
No
destroyed.
remorse. Okay. He didn't even say anything cheesy before he shot him, or whatever. Okay, that's a video for another time.
God damn it, Johto. Anyway, but yeah, even knowing that I'm like hated for like things that I did when I was like 15, 16 is pretty irritating. You know, it's just I just don't want to be a part of this community anymore, and that's why I'm glad I have you guys all here in this server. That way we can just hang out. You know, don't have to worry about that. And I'm glad I got to meet all of you, and it's great. You know?
I want to say this, and I know I've been being an asshole and taking a lot of space for like what I want to say. You can give me hate for it later. I appreciate that this server is a thing, because I'm really not okay with the fact that a common person who wants to get better at the game is locked out of learning things. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. I'm gonna say this. Like, I was being bullied for liking Reboot and wanting Reboot as my main game compared to other DMC games when I did not want to be a combo person. Actually, no. I won't reveal his name, but like, I'm really not okay with this community, and I'm glad this is a thing, because if this Discord was not a thing, I would not be here. In fact, I did not want to join the server when I first found it, because it was so small. Little did I realize that like the server contained everything I needed towards getting better Reboot and the other games. And there's no toxicity, there's no hate on Reboot or any other games, and more so.
Yeah, except for DMC3, Virgil. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, this is so not okay. I don't. Fuck, dude. It's just like, I've never met such a bundle of insecure people before. No, not you guys. I'm talking about the main DMC community. It's just so like, I am so bewildered.
It's also quite disappointing that you were bullied, honestly, by people that shall not be named. And
Yes.
I think I have an idea of who it could be, but not quite.
It's Mecha Mike.
Yes, that's who I thought it was.
Yeah. If you go into the Red DMC Discord, you will see what he said and the other DMC people have said. I actually have his DMs that I don't have to share, because I'm just so fucking disappointed. When I was playing DMC, I was working out, and like I talked to Mecha Mike, and I thought we could be friends. But this guy is so fucking insecure that like he's not okay with me getting better at DMC3, and I was willing to help him with fitness. I'm just like, I'm so fucking down the server.
Hey, maybe we should make a big document and then go in and say, "Ha."
No.
Gotcha. No, I'm just joking.
No. I know you're joking, but the reason these people can't be reasoned with. That's the thing. Like,
I do not negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah. You can call them out. They're not going to like. You can't negotiate. You can't call these people out. That's a thing. That's why I've learned to accept. It's like, fucking Christ, God damn it. Yeah. No.
I'm not gonna defend Mecha Mike in any way, but I am going to say this.
Yeah.
It's very hard to discern what someone means through text.
Yes.
So it could have been like lost in text. I don't 100% believe that he's a malicious person in any way.
I see you halfway with that, but I don't think he is the most non-toxic person to be around. Sorry, I'm sorry. I am saying there is some toxicity with him. I'm gonna say that.
Mhm.
Yes. The thing is, because he was being a little bit manipulative or controlling with me playing Reboot as my main game. Because he said, "Why would you want to play Reboot? You can't like be a combo player with that." Or like when I joined OCW for the first time and I wanted to be part of that, he said, "Go finish DmC 3 first." Another example is that
Oh wait, I remember. I was there at the time.
yes, he also was pissed.
Okay.
That, yeah.
About those comments in OCW, like for everyone to see, I honestly think he was memeing with you and you took it to heart. But
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay. Another one. Sorry, another one was that. Okay. You know what? I will steer your way because it can be taken that way. I'll be honest about that. It can be taken that way.
Because the meme thing in like the combo community is haha reboot bad,
Yeah.
and just in general with the DMC community is just haha reboot bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think everyone means it when they say it.
Right.
But it's very hard because there's so many people that say it to realize who is being truthful and not. So
I will tell you in the Blue DMC Discord, they did mean it though. They did.
oh yeah, that place is a cesspool.
Yes. Fuck. It's just I'm so fucking done with this community, honestly.
And I think there's some level of intimidation if you like DMC. I mean the reboot.
Yeah.
You can't. You just feel like you're out of place to even say that.
Yeah, you feel shunned. Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, because like when I made serious posts about Reboot in the Blue DMC Discord, like I don't remember if I got laughed on, but like you're getting the point I'm getting at. It's like it wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't very included. It's just
even
like,
in the new reformed red DMC Discord, they
Wait.
still like.
Wait, reformed? What?
I mean, like when they split.
Oh.
Where they try to carry themselves better than Blue. They still shit talk Reboot in the Reboot channel.
Yeah, it's so. I'm not okay with this, man. It's like I don't.
Yeah, red server.
The red one. Yeah, I'm not okay with the fact that like people feel, what is it? Shame of liking Reboot, nor can they find the resources they need to play Reboot. I'm not okay with this. It's just so like.
It's I'm not gonna call it racism, but
It is
like
racism.
it's straight up like segregation.
This is DMCism.
Jesus.
Okay, and just like that, we're gonna bring it to a close. I cannot stream forever. I need to go hibernate, collect.
Was anybody even watching? Honestly,
I was.
Okay.
But I'm here, so I don't. Does that count?
Yeah, it counts. I don't know. No, that's just the fuck. Honestly, fuck this community so much. I'm just so fucking sick of it. No, it's really not okay.